guys had made your way to the farming city of Goldenfields, known as the breadbasket of the north, a fortified farm basically. There you'd sort of entered through a very peaceful city and you'd met many of the residents. Most of them are very welcoming, and there's just a real emphasis on farming here. There are farmers sowing the fields, and the most popular tavern, or the only real tavern or slash inn that's recommended to you guys, is North Furrow's End, which is sort of over here. And you guys had met several of the key residents. You'd met Litholis, a treant, who is a guardian of the sort of grove here in Goldenfields, and very popular with the children and much loved by all in the town. You'd met Zi Liang, who was a bit of a frustrated follower of Chauntea, who pretty much doesn't really think too much highly of the town guard, and Strog Thunderblade, the captain of the guard, and she also seems to be a little bit of a miscreant. She works at the abbey here under the supervision of Eladrin Darovic, and he's a very peaceful druid in the abbey of Chauntea, the god of bountiful harvests. And she seemed a bit frustrated, voicing her concerns about the lack of defense and how the town had actually been attacked by hill giants, and luckily the archers atop the 60-foot high walls of the city were able to sort of defend the town, fend the attackers off. You'd also met Orin Urgivli briefly. He's a drunkard, a halfling who's just sort of stumbling around North Furrow's End. You didn't really talk to him too much. And you'd met also someone else you'd met very briefly was Shalvis, who you guys sort of identified as a member of the Zentarum. He was just working on a pumpkin patch. Seems to be not a pumpkin patch. He was herding some cattle, some sheep. Just a herdsman. You notice the flying snake tattoo on his wrist. As you guys got to North Furrow's End, you'd also encountered two arguing patrons, or one patron and one proprietor. Naxine, who seems to be a magister sent from Waterdeep to try and make some liaisons with some of the folk here in Goldenfields, try and bring them on over to become a member of the Lord's Alliance, or at least aid Waterdeep in some way, form some sort of alliance. You only got a sort of a brief glimpse into that conversation. And you'd also met Miros, who was the son of Trell, which is Thomas's sort of mentor. So you guys had encountered all these people, and you're going to go talk to Strog Thunderblade the following morning about maybe the town's defenses, warn them that the giant threat is not over, just see how he runs things. However, as you guys rest here in the quite cramped but very lovely decorated North Furrow's End, there is some trouble. A mighty yell shatters the night's silence. You actually feel a little bit of rumbling, like the ground shaking, like an earthquake. And you get woken up very abruptly. And you just hear this voice. We're under attack! A voice calls out, to arms! To arms! As you guys gather your wits and your weapons, you stumble outside the inn. There's a low mist blanketing the quiet gardens to the north, and it slinks between the rows of darkened longhouses to the south. There's a small figure stumbling around the corner of the nearest longhouse. And he loses his balance and he falls face first onto the ground. You've never seen such a clumsy, disheveled halfling. It's Orin, your Gively. Giants! Giants are attacking! Orin yells out. And he just starts sort of pointing south towards the town. So, this is how this is going to work. I've assigned you guys an NPC. There's only 6 NPCs. Roderick, you sort of missed how the NPCs were sort of interacting, so I thought it would make sense if you didn't control one of them, and that's okay. There's only 6 NPCs and 7 players.
I can take control of Car instead then.
I will take control of you. Alright, so I'll give you guys a brief moment now to review your NPCs. And we have, first of all, Shalvis Martholio, the Zentarum herdsman, who will be controlled by Lily. Each character, this is similar to the attack on Tribal. They have ideals, bonds, and flaws. And you'll need to try to roleplay them the best as possible. If you sort of go against that, then probably not going to end well for them.
That's the dude we saw in the field, right?
Yeah. And Ander will take control of Litholis, the friendly Trent / Emerald Enclave member. Than will take care of Zi Liang. He'll control her, the worshipper of Shantea, the one who's concerned about the guards. Thomas will control Miros, the Yeti. And Norin will control Naxine, the Magister from Waterdeep. And finally, Rend will control Orin, the drunken halfling. So, Orin comes stumbling in, and he was just taking a bit of a leisurely stroll through the town, a drunkard stroll. And he was actually staying at the North Forest Inn, but he was like drunk a heap of ale that night and just walking the streets. It's like middle of the night, maybe even early hours of the morning. The sun's not up, everything's pitch black. But Orin was just walking through the center of town when he just seen a big group of hill giants, ogres, bugbears, and goblins just sort of storming through the town. So we'll go around now for everyone's NPCs, and we'll see how they will react. I'll also let you know there's only 2 NPCs that aren't at North Forest End. That's Litholis and Zi Liang. So I'll let you guys know what they see, and then you'll decide how the NPC will react, where they may go, or what they may do. And we'll start off with Miros. So he's just heard Orin yelling out, saying that the town is under attack. You can feel the gentle shudder of giants somewhere in the area, and Orin's little halfling voice is yelled out at the top of his lungs to awaken everyone in the tavern.
Well, he'll want to go outside and see what the commotion is. Once he sees it's giants, I don't think he'll be able to differentiate that they're not the ones that killed his father.
Alright, well, you don't see any giants.
No.
It's very dark. There's no lights throughout the city at night. You just see this little halfling just out on the dark street, just crying out giants at the top of his lungs.
Well, knowing him to be a drunk, he's probably not going to pay too much attention to him and kind of hang tight at the inn for now.
Okay. All right, and
Maybe.
Maxine, you've woken up as well, and you hear the exact same thing. How does Maxine react when she hears this?
She would grab her staff and go outside. Probably cast light on the end of her staff because
Okay.
it's dark. So we have a little light.
All right, this sort of soft white glow appears from the tip of her staff, and she sort of shines it down into this sort of little crying voice out on the street, and it illuminates Orin's face. He's sort of just picking himself up from the mud and screaming giants, and he's sort of pointing to the south towards the town. Maybe we'll just do everyone's sort of like initial reactions, and then we'll see how the NPCs react once the heroes sort of act as well. Because I dare say that'll probably dictate what will happen with them. All right, so Shalvis was actually staying at the North Furrow's end as well, and he's also awoken to the commotion. What does he do? Grabbed his weapon, ran downstairs, perhaps.
Is that, you said Shalvis?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't get a read on this guy. I think he would try to stay toward a little bit away from the fighting and just kind of scout things out. I don't think he's...
Well, there's no fighting at the moment. He's just woken up and he's heard like the yelling of the halfling.
Okay, so then... Yeah, I don't think he wants to run out there. He doesn't have any reason to. I mean, he's concerned. He doesn't want to be, like, up front.
Did you read his bond?
I'm trying to think about...
he loves animals and he's very protective of them.
Where are they at, though? I guess... So he's a herdsman, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. He'd probably go check on them.
Okay. All right. He runs out, and the closest animal pen is over here. This is one that he works at. It's like right next door. It's across the road. All right.
Yeah,
he just runs straight over there. All right. And Ziliang. Now, everyone in like sort of the temple area in the abbey is sleeping, but Ziliang, she sort of sleeps more during the day, and she's actually patrolling Goldenfields at night, particularly around the outskirts of the abbey. Now, as she's just doing this usual sort of nightly ritual that she does, she just sees a hill giant, a few ogres, half a dozen goblins, and a few bugbears just like running, sort of stumbling around in the large open field here, and then sort of heading towards the abbey. She'd also noticed two other groups of similar size. There's about 20 or so, and they've just stumbled through the town, burst through into the town and near the animal pens. But some of them have sort of just started to stumble upon the abbey.
Sorry, and the abbey is
here.
from where she's standing.
She was around the area. Yeah, this little building here on the map is the abbey. And
okay.
Yeah, the hill giants had sort of like come from a southeasterly direction. Come from this direction. They've run through. Some of them are sort of stumbling around in this field over here. And some of them are just sort of burrowed through the longhouses, just knocking over houses and started stomping on through sort of northwesterly.
Are they destroying her crops?
They seem to have split into three groups. The crops are all to the north of town. The crops are mainly like all up here. And there is some wheat fields here, so they've trampled some wheat fields already.
Those bastards.
As she takes a look, it's quite an intimidating group. We're talking 1 hill giant, maybe 2 ogres, half a dozen goblins, and 4 bugbears.
Chantel guides her sling. She's not worried.
All right, she's going to stay there and defend the...
No, she's not. But does she... Who's in the Abbey right now? Does she know who's in the Abbey?
Some acolytes, some disciples, and the abbot.
Okay. All right, that's where she's going to stealthily head to the Abbey to give warning if she can.
All right.
If they're coming in that direction.
So she does know that in times of trouble, there is a bell that can be rung, and it can be heard for miles. Okay. We'll come back to her. She starts to head towards the Abbey. And Lipholis.
Haha.
What does Lipholis do? He's just sort of chilling out in this grove here.
What does he see?
He doesn't have any dark vision, so he sort of just feels the vibrations in the ground, and he can clearly hear the heavy thundering stomping of several bands of goblinoids and giants. And through the moonlight, the little moonlight that offers sort of vague silhouettes of the longhouses in town, he does see a group pretty much smack bang in the center of the town, just knocking over longhouses and trampling everything that comes in their path.
You say he doesn't have dark vision, right?
He doesn't, no.
And the group is over here?
Yeah, he sort of sees some large group of creatures sort of moving through the center of town. That's like where all the buildings and all the residents live.
Well, I'm gonna think. I would think that he doesn't see very well who they are. So he's gonna approach the group and say, "Hey, Roderick, Noren, what are you guys doing? Why are you all of a sudden knocking everything off?"
Alrighty, we'll get back to Lipholis. And finally, Oren has sort of picked himself up from the mud, and he's currently out the front of the inn. And what he saw was just a large band of these goblinoids stumbling around, sort of, and pretty much in the center of town. A big group of them, and as soon as he saw them, just a hill giant leading the way, just stomping and thundering, his footsteps shuddering the surrounding area, and the ground itself was shaking. He's just sprinted towards the inn to try and wake everyone up. So you pretty much take control of him now, Ren.
We've got to hurry. We need to call the guards and get everyone to safety. Hurry! And so that's what he's trying to do. Is I don't know if there's any guards near us that would hear him. I don't know if the bell has started yet.
There's no bell.
Okay.
And so his little voice, it pretty much only alerts the residents of the inn. Maybe a couple of residents, just like common folk, farmers in some of the nearby longhouses. There are usually just a few guards positioned at each of these defense towers, and then there are guards in the barracks as well, up near the brewery. And you just saw like a hill giant just like knock through like a couple of longhouses, just like it's no bother to the giant whatsoever.
Yeah. So at this point, then he's still just yelling guards and giants and trying to move away from the giants. All
right. Well, you call out guards and giants, and a group of adventurers, the ones that you saw staying in the North Furrow End, they seem to be quite capable from what you'd heard in their adventures and whatnot, a few stories that they've shared. And from what you can tell, the guards here are not very organized. Last time the giants attacked, by the time the guards actually sort of were called to arms, the giants already chased off, so you don't have a whole lot of faith in that situation. You're starting to feel like maybe your best bet could be the adventurers.
Adventurers, please! We're under attack by giants.
All right. You call for them.
Yep.
And everyone runs downstairs now, and you're out the front of the inn. So, you guys as a party, what do you do?
Giants, where? And this is nighttime, right?
It's pitch black.
Yeah, I can't see him.
I'm lighting my lantern that's hanging from my belt, so
Okay.
you can have some light.
Illuminates a little bit. So the Orin saw some activity, some monsters, pretty much in the town square, which is a little about a mile away. So you can sort of hear, you can feel a bit of. Okay, you cast dark vision. You can like sort of hear a bit of sort of rumbling, the ground shaking a little bit in the distance, and there's a little bit of ambient noise, but most residents seem to have still be completely unaware of the attack as far as you can tell. Only a couple of houses have had some sort of candle or lantern lit within, and even then they're just farmers.
Start heading towards whatever direction Orin says he saw the giants.
Okay.
Yeah. Norn would do so as well.
All right, you guys want to head to the town.
Lan would as well.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll light a torch. I do have a torch, so I'll light it and head that way.
Okay, so the party starts running towards the town, and all right, Norin's got out a lantern, hooded lantern, and Rend has a torch.
Light on his.
Thomas is going to cast light, and Anda does dark vision. Okay, so the party run off there, and let me just fix all this lighting up. Okay, so as the party runs off, we're going to go back to these NPCs. So everyone runs to the center of town. I'll actually just put on the map where you guys know that there is activity. Well, you know there's activity in the center of town and over near the, well, pretty much just near the center of the town. That's the only area that you guys currently know where there is trouble. Okay, Orin, what do you do as the party run off to defend Goldenfields? Orin, the halfling. That's you, Ren.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was mute.
No problem.
Sitting there looking at him. So they ran off. Where's the Wolfman?
He's currently out the front of the. Actually, I don't even think he's out the front. I think he's still inside.
I'm gonna go in there with him.
Okay.
And
he's not going to aid Goldenfields. He's going to hide.
He wants to get people to safety, but I don't know where the nearest house would be.
All of the houses are pretty much like this concentric ring of long houses here where the residents live.
Well, he's not a fighter, so I think Orin's gonna run towards the houses to try to alert more people.
All right, he runs down the street alerting people.
Yeah, just to try to get them to safety.
Okay. And Maxine.
Maxine would probably follow the adventurers. Probably feels like her magic could be of some use. And, well, can't have giants stampeding all over the town before it can join the Lord's Alliance. So.
All right, she joins the party to defend the town. All right, as she runs after the party, she sees little Orin just drunkenly running down the streets, just screaming, "Giants! Giants!" and waking everyone up. And Miros, what do you do?
Well, Miros at first, I think, would be kind of joking about it and trying to calm everybody down. Oh, that's the commotion. Wait, giants? Giants killed my father! Ah! And he's just gonna run.
Okay. Where does he run?
Towards center of town. Towards.
As he exits, he sees Maxine run after the party, Orin running down the streets, crying at the top of his lungs, and Shalvis sort of running towards the nearest animal pen. He pursues the party.
He's gonna go to the animal pen, and I think if they're riled up, he'll try to calm them down.
I meant Miros. That's what Miros saw. What I was saying. So he goes after the party?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. So this group runs towards the center of town. And alright. So we've got Naxine, Miros. Just Naxine and Miros there running with the party. To the center of town.
Maxine, the magic queen.
Okay, we'll move on over to a map so you guys can see what is happening there in 2 seconds. Alright, so the town is where all the residents live. There are these concentric half rings around a central square where locals can socialize and gather for picnics. And the streets are silent. The place is quiet. But you can just hear some trouble. You can hear some screaming, some yelling, and some roaring and some thunderous footsteps. And as you guys head on over, you don't see any hill giants. But you do see a group of ogres, goblins, and some hobgoblins. The hobgoblins seem to be sort of directing the goblinoids, and a female hobgoblin seems to be the captain. Not only is there 2 hobgoblins, 1 male, 1 female, there is about 5 or 6 goblins and 3 ogres. One of the ogres, he just has this massive sort of chain, and he's just sort of whipping it around like a helicopter and smashing it into wagons and buildings. Another ogre has a battering ram in his hand, and he's in the process of smashing down the door of what looks like some small inn, or maybe even a stable house. And there is another ogre that has this wooden platform on his back, and he has some goblins with short bows sitting on the wooden platform. And when some of the residents run out of their houses and scream, the goblins are shooting them down. So you guys approach, and this is just one of the concentric rings of houses. So this is the road that cuts through, and the concentric rings run around. So it's kind of dark, and all of these goblinoids obviously are relying on their dark vision. You probably can't see all of the creatures that were described, but I'll give you handouts of what they look like anyway. So these are the brute ogres, the ones with the chains that are throwing them chains around. And this is the ogre with a battering ram. And the ogre with the platform of goblins on his back.
Jeez.
And there is a hobgoblin, a female hobgoblin captain, who's giving out orders very confidently. And there's another hobgoblin, just a male one, giving out some orders, supervising and giving directions to the toadies. All right, let's roll us some initiative. – Alright. The goblins go first. As you guys start rushing in, this nearby goblin's trying to like... He's jumped up on the door and he's holding onto the door handle and he's pushing his legs against the door with all his might. He's trying to rip the door open and he just sort of falls off. And he quickly jumps to his feet when he sees all you guys running and he starts calling, Captain! Captain! Attackers! Attackers! And the goblin then, he quickly pulls out his short bow and takes a shot at Rend. And the arrow whizzes on by you, and then the goblin runs around the corner. Two more goblins, one standing in the middle of the town, or in the road, sorry, in the middle of the road, and another one's trying to break into this house. They both fire at you guys. First shot is at Roderick, and a goblin's arrow hits you for 6 piercing damage. That was this one, and then he runs around the corner to hide. And I think, yeah, he can actually hide there as a bonus action. And use Nimble Escape. And he's got a 12 in the shadows. This one will shoot at Norin. And that misses. And then he sort of stands near the hobgoblin captain and draws a scimitar. Another one moves up and takes a shot at Roderick. And that misses you, Roderick. The goblin then sort of jumps on this wagon while another one jumps on the wagon and takes a shot at Roderick, and they start rocking it like a seesaw. And that hits you, Roderick, for 4 piercing damage.
Yeah.
And a guy just like runs out of a nearby building. Ah! Ah! And you guys just hear a goblin sort of slashing at him. And no one else sort of attempts to escape at this time. The 4 goblins on the back of the ogre, they are going to launch a volley of arrows at... let me just see, for range. For dark vision, it's going to have to be Roderick, all 4 arrows. They only just see you, Roderick, so they start just peppering you from atop the ogre's platform. 1 arrow hits you for 7 piercing damage. And all the rest of the arrows just litter the ground. The ground is sort of dirt with a few loose stones around. And that's it for the goblins. Maxine.
Would she have had time to cast Mage Armor like on the way over?
Yeah, she definitely would have done that. It took you guys about 15 minutes to run over here.
Okay. Well, in
It's
that
about
case,
a
yeah,
mile.
she definitely would have cast Mage Armor then. Yeah, she sees that that these hobgoblins are kind of giving out the orders here. She's gonna pop the female hobgoblin with a magic missile. First level. Alright,
she's pretty well armored, and the magic missiles. Oh, it's rolling like.
Yeah, it rolled off. It rolled. I just went off of the sheet.
That's fine. Yeah, just use that for her. She's got special magic missiles. It's a water deep Magistar thing.
It's water deep magic.
All right. The captain's only just turned around, and she gets a face full of magic missiles. They erupt in her face and just sort of knock her back and daze her a little bit.
Alright, and next scene will kind of get over here. Maybe duck behind this bush as best she can. Kind of present as small a target as possible. And that will be scene's turn.
Miros.
Oh, that's me. Oh, there's no giants here. Still, these guys can't be good for business. So he'll take a shot with his crossbow at this one. This goblin.
That's a hit. And the crossbow bolt glances the goblin and injures him quite badly. Lily.
All right. Seems like a lot of things are going on. I think we'll put our defenses up. We'll start with, and then.
So is that Blade Song?
Yeah, starting with Blade Song, and then I think I'll cast Blink. I've never cast this before.
Blink goes on, and at the end of your turn, you'll roll a d20, and it'll determine whether you blink into the ethereal plane or remain on the material plane.
Excellent. I'll run forward a little. So end turn, I just roll a d20?
Yep. An 11 or higher, you'll disappear.
I do not.
You remain there. Norin.
I'll run 15 feet forward and chuck a javelin at the injured hobgoblin. I'm not the injured goblin. I mean, I'll even use a goblin javelin.
That absolutely, it impales him through the throat, and his head is just
goblin slaying javelin
stuck into the ground, and the goblin's body is sort of launched up, and it looks like he's like a goblin on a spike.
It's like, this one has your name on it. Conveniently.
I'll draw another javelin, run another 15 feet, and chuck one at one of the ones in the cart. And this will be my second goblin javelin because I only have two.
That is a direct hit, and as they're sort of swaying on the wagon, this one sort of jumps down to sort of platform this goblin up, but instead he lands straight down onto your javelin and is just stuck into the wagon.
Nice.
And there's not a whole lot else I can do at the moment, so that's my turn.
Dan.
So it looks like we have range attackers at this point. Coming at us.
Yeah, you've got a heap of arrows flying towards you guys. It's raining arrows.
It's raining arrows. Okay. I suppose I'm going to. I'll move up a little bit, about 15 feet. And this is the hobgoblin here.
That is a male hobgoblin.
Okay. I'm going to cast a spell, I think. Or try to. Let's see here. Let's see what my range is. I'm going to cast blindness on him, I think. If I can. I have to get within 30 feet. Okay. Shit. Okay, I can bonus action dash to here and cast blindness on this guy.
Alright, you cunning action dash up to the wagon, and as you run by this house, you see just a frightened woman sort of looking through the window and sort of jumps back. And to, I think, Constitution save for blindness, deafness. And Hobgoblin resists. There's a big flash of bright light that washes over him, but he just sort of shields his eyes, and when it finishes, he's still seeing.
Okay. I shake my fist at him. And I'll try to use this wagon as a bit cover, I guess, the best I can, and then I will end my turn there.
All right. This ogre with the battering ram, he just smashes it into the door, and he just breaks the door straight down. Oh! He roars, and you hear people screaming, and he just sort of runs into the building. Roderick.
With, was it 3 or 4 arrows in him? I can't remember.
This guy. No arrows yet. This is just a glimpse into the future.
Oh, no, I've got 3 or 4 arrows.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's you there, Roderick, on that token.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks
They've
similar.
like destroyed my beard somehow. I'm gonna shillelagh and then.
Alright, this hobgoblin, she quickly whips around to face you and just draws a greatsword, and she has a very martial stance about her. She wears half plate. And you clip her. Just whack her in the side.
Good hit.
Just bring it down to size. That one would miss.
Blocks that attack
And
easily.
Dread Ambusher.
And she brings up the greatsword to block you once more. Ander.
I'm going to mount on top of Ka and command her to dash towards the hobgoblin as a bonus action.
Alright, that's what you think you're doing, but Car grabs you and drags you along.
Okay. So I get there. With my main action, I'm gonna swing with the rapier.
That's a miss.
And swing again.
And that hits her. You find a gap in her defense as the rapier sort of sticks into her side, but she draws back and a little splash of blood appears out of the wound.
Right.
Rend.
Alright. I'm going to, as I'm raging and rushing her, just going to bellow out cowards and then attack her.
Alright. Go into a rage.
Yep.
She just gives you a wry smile as you rush her. She blocks your axe. 16 is a miss.
Did I not say reckless attack?
No. You didn't go reckless.
I meant to. Alright. Then I'll just attack her this time too then.
You swing again and she jumps back. Your attack falls short.
Alright. That's it then.
Thomas.
All right. So a little space here. I was gonna try to make her go away, but she seems pretty in hand. I'm gonna look at the giant with all the goblins on his back. I'm just gonna point at him and say, "Go away."
Okay. The ogre makes a charisma saving throw.
I feel like you should say, I don't believe in you.
Alright, he vanishes and he disappears into a harmless demi-plane, and all of the goblins have to use their reaction to dive out of this little siege ogre. And they just sort of jump down on the ground. They just pretty much find themselves suspended in the air, and they sort of tumble down, landing on their feet.
Alright, and then I'll quicken a firebolt at this goblin, and
That is a narrow miss. Alright, the hobgoblin captain starts yelling out in goblinoid. Kekor, Rextakor, Recto, pointing at goblins and giving out some orders. And with her great sword, she's going to take a swing at Roderick. And she hits you for 12 piercing damage. Should be slashing, but it doesn't really matter. She hits you once, and then as she sort of attacks, she whips around and swings at Rend. And Rend, you're hit for 4 points of damage.
Right.
And she ends her turn there. This hobgoblin immediately rushes over to you, Roderick, and he runs at you with a longsword, just trying to impale you with it. But you whip around that quarterstaff and block the attack. Meanwhile, this ogre, he sort of turns around. He starts letting out this loud bellowing laughter, and he's got this chain. He starts spinning it around, and he runs up to you, Roderick, and just lets it loose and tries to sweep you with it. And it misses you.
They really don't like you, Roderick.
Wow. No, they don't today.
Alright, this little goblin is going to rush you and like jump on you and get in your face. Use the help action.
Okay.
Next attack on you will have advantage. Natsine.
Are all the goblins not gonna?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or...
I forgot they're all on the same turn. All right. In that case, this goblin's going to run up to Roderick and use the help action as well. Just start grabbing at your legs. Meanwhile, this goblin sort of jumps onto Rend and slashes with a scimitar. Misses you, Rend. And the other 4 goblins that jumped off the ogre howdah, they are going to fan out along the road and launch a volley of arrows. Whoops, why is there a dude there? There should not be a dude there. Well, there is a dead dude there. There was a guy trying to get some water in the middle of the night from the well and met an untimely end.
Poor dude.
First arrow is at Ander. Second arrow is at Rend. Third arrow is at Roderick. Fourth arrow is at Than. All of those arrows miss. And another goblin goes and joins that rank of archers and takes a shot at Car. And Car is hit for 6 piercing damage. Another hidden goblin peers around the corner. You do not... Actually, what's your passive there? Alright, you see him, Than. He just pokes his head around the corner and takes a shot at you with his short bow. And he hits you for 6 piercing damage. And then he just runs back around the corner. And that's all the goblins. Alright, Naxine, you're up.
Okay. She would have heard the ogre breaking into the place over here, right?
Yeah, there's like a loud snap of wood and screams of people.
Okay. Well, then with an action, she's going to cast Fly on herself.
Alright, she got 60 feet. Flying speed.
How tall are these buildings?
They are 1 story, 10 feet tall.
Okay, so she's gonna fly like up. Well, that's 40 feet. But basically in a straight line, another 20 feet. I don't know if that's gonna land like in a building or anything. But
She wants to go up.
Yeah, so
20
like
feet.
Yeah, so basically at a 45-degree angle,
Yeah.
just going 60 feet like that.
I'll just remove the dynamic lighting. So you're like, you wanted to go like there, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. 20 feet in the
and
air.
I still can't see. Still can't see an ogre over there. She will be susceptible to goblins at this point, so I think she will also, nope, she can't really do anything at this point. But I don't know if she's 60 feet in the air. I don't know if
she wants to be 60 feet in the air.
Well, yeah, like going at a 45.
Okay.
So she's like trying to get out of range.
All right, yeah. She just sort of sees accurately what you'd see there on the map. There's not a whole lot of light. She doesn't have dark vision.
She's gonna start moving over towards where that.
Okay.
And that will be turn.
Miros. Miros.
Oh, sorry.
That's not Thomas.
Yeti. 8-man. You're up.
All right. Starting to get a little ticked off at all this damage, so it's gonna hurt his business. Won't be able to afford to come to the end. He's not in a rage yet, but he'll come forward.
You just remember Thomas telling you the sad news yesterday as well.
Yeah, but they're not giants, so he's kind of disappointed. But seeing this big guy looming up over everything, he'll shoot him with a crossbow.
That's a hit. Crossbow bolt sticks into the ogre's belly. Lily.
Okay. I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Shadow Blade.
All right, Shadow Blade goes up.
And then I guess I'm going to run forward to the closest goblin, take a swing at him.
That hits.
Nice.
You absolutely obliterate him. His head just explodes. And that help action goes away, actually, on Ander.
Step forward and hit, try to hit this guy.
Alright, you swing at the captain, but she just jumps back out of the way with martial prowess.
Are we in bright light or dim light right now?
You should be able to see the lighting on the map. Pretty much the dim light is like over here.
Ah, gotcha.
Over here. But yeah, you are in bright light.
Oh, I'll point out that I used a level 3 Shadow Blade, just so that it's clear. You can see that it says level 3 on it.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah, I think that'll be it. So I roll again, a d20?
Yeah, d20, 11 or higher, and you go away.
I guess I go away.
You blink into the border ethereal. Vanish. Norin.
All right. I'm going to, against my better judgment, take out the trident. And then try to muscle my way into this spot here. Could I do that?
Yeah, the goblin's going to slash at you.
Yeah.
And you trident his attack away.
And I'm actually going to go for the goblin that's harassing Roderick at the moment. So that'll be my first attack.
That hits.
Hey.
Alright, you just impale him. You just thrust that trident forward and sort of sticks him up, lifting him off the ground.
Nice. And oh.
Was that wild
I
magic?
didn't do that.
What was that? That would become
I feel like
a
somebody's preparing.
And then I'll go ahead and take a swipe at this hobgoblin over here.
crit.
Hey, there it is.
Hey.
Oh.
Alright, you push your way through and the trident sort of sticks straight into her leg. And she just sort of jumps back. Winter's in pain slightly, even as it's bleeding profusely. She just doesn't sway in her stance at all.
And I'm going to put my unwavering mark on her.
Okay. He turns towards you and holds the great sword sort of slanted towards you, both hands.
Yep. And then I'm going to action surge, and my first extra attack will be at the ogre.
That's a hit. You whip the trident around and pierce it straight into the ogre.
I will put my unwavering mark upon it as well. And then I'll turn and try to hit this hobgoblin here.
That hits. You spin the trident around to stick him straight through the neck, killing him instantly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. You're just
That
like a
worked better than I thought.
trident killing machine over there.
This is it's new territory for me. This trident has not done well in the past. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
She was just playing hard to get.
I guess.
Man.
Than is going to step forward to here, and he's going to release the doves.
All right, Spirit Guardians goes up.
Prince starts playing in the background.
And you should be able to... do you have dark vision, Than? You do, right? Half elf.
do.
Okay. You should be able to see everyone, including Naxine, to exclude them. Big swirling wave of doves starts surrounding you, glowing energy.
And I don't think anything can do for bonus action. Right. End my turn.
All right, this ogre, you just hear him people screaming, people getting bashed. Ah!
Yeah, that's
And then several females screaming at the top of their lungs. Ah! Roderick.
If you're talking, you're muted.
Roderick? Hello? Is he not here? Roderick?
He's on mute. I don't know.
If he went AFK, he didn't say anything. I messaged him. I'll give him a few seconds. If not, I'm gonna just give him the dodge action. Okay, dodge it is. Gotta keep things rolling here. Ander.
Okay. I am going to command politely Ka to buy the hobgoblin.
Ka will allow it.
Jeez. There we go. Character sheet was not coming up.
Alright. Ka leaps straight forward and bites the hobgoblin on the neck. And she resists the poison, but she's now staggers for the first time.
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the hobgoblin. And swing with the rapier. Wow.
She blocks it with the flat of her blade. Rend.
Alright. This time we're a reckless attack.
Okay.
And attacking the captain.
That is a hit. Alright, you glance her with the axe, and more blood just starts to roll down her arm.
Take my second attack against her.
He jumps back, ducks under the attack.
Yeah, that's it then.
Thomas.
Sorry, I had a visitor.
That's alright, you can take your turn. You can take your turn now, Roderick, before Thomas fireballs everyone, if you like.
I'll run in between those goblins. I was just gonna.
Hey, that's just one extra person he gets to roll dice against.
I meant fireballs. Everyone is in fireballs himself, but.
Yes.
Alright, Shield of Faith on yourself.
Yep, and then I'll just attack the hobgoblin. I don't have the. That's right.
Alright, that hits her. You whack her straight over the face, and blood flickers onto the dirt road.
Nice.
You swing again, dodges it.
Yep.
And
You'll...
no movement.
Nah, I'm happy hanging out here.
Okay, Thomas.
Surprise everybody, I'm sure.
There are a lot of houses here, so be very careful where you're putting that.
Yeah. So I think I'm just hitting grass there. Grass and goblins and...
I don't think there's going to be anything. Well, you're going to burn down the cover of
just
the
the
well. The grass is very green, and will just get. It's not going to catch on fire. It's like very moist, so you don't have to worry about that. But I mean, you can't imagine that's going to start a fire as well.
Yeah, so I didn't open with this. I actually thought the green was houses, and yeah, I got excited when I realized it was grass.
Okay.
It's a good one.
All right, roll on the wild magic surge table. All those goblins go bye-bye, and then I'll roll for the ogre.
Oh, wow.
Maximize the
Nice.
damage of the next damaging spell you cast within the next
That's
minute.
exciting.
All right, they're goblins. Every single one of them just gets turned into a big pile of ash. The cover of the well does catch a light and starts to burn, and then the ogre brute, he just sort of shields his shields his face, and it just burns his arm. His arm catches on fire, and he starts to scream. Ah! And you actually do catch that wagon handle on fire. That will start to
Alright.
burn. Let's get some fire up in here.
Alrighty. That way. Call it good.
Okay, just adjusting this fire. So that's on fire, and the handle of the wagon is... It's a tiny little flame. Not really. We'll see how it spreads. It will need to be put out. Alright, the captain, she's going to make a wisdom saving throw. You already rolled damage already for the first one, so I'll take that. There's 11. And what's your DC then? 15. Alright, she fails, and she gets churned away from the radiant energy, and her orange tinged flesh is all blistered, and she's close to death. She sort of screams and comes in at Norin with her greatsword. And
That's a hit.
she hits you, and she's going to use her martial advantage. She hits you for 26 points of damage by having an ally near you. And she swings at you again, Norin.
That's another hit.
And she gets you for 6 piercing damage. And she ends her turn there. She's like falling down on one knee. Okay, the ogre brute. I'll take that second damage roll there, Than, because you already rolled it. And he just gets... Basically all his sort of flesh starts to blister and pop until his face is just this bright red sort of beetroot color, and he just sinks onto the ground, all radiated to death. Okay, there's a couple of goblins left, and well, there is one goblin left, and I think let me check line of sight there. I think you should be able to get him. I remove the dynamic lighting, so I just got to check the.
There's another goblin here.
Yeah, that's the one I'm checking. Let's take a look there, then. Oops, I got to snap to the corner. Yep, he's just in there. You've got to 3/4 cover, so that's not total cover. And he just blisters up and until he pops. So does the other goblin. Just this weird, blistery, bright red blood puddle. And there's just the ogre with the battering ram left. Maxine.
Got a 60-foot flash. Would she still have light on her from when she came out of the inn?
Oh, did I not put the light on? Okay, let me fix that up. I forgot to add her one. There we go.
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't have got right up on it.
She sees the ogre just bash at this dude over the head, and the ogre's got like this big bag, and he just like stuffs the dude in a bag, and then he's gonna go like take out 4 frightened commoner women who are like hiding under a table in a small, what looks like an inn.
Let's see. She will. Oh, don't want a lightning bolt. It's kind of in a bad spot. Doesn't want a lightning bolt to house.
Well, lightning bolt doesn't catch things on fire. It's like an indoor spell. Lightning bolt for indoors, fireball for outdoors.
Well, in that case, she'll line it up to where she won't hit any of her peoples, and she'll throw a lightning bolt at this thing.
Ogre turns around and just sees Maxine there, sort of crackling with lightning, hovering a couple of feet above the ground. She shoots a bolt of lightning straight at him, and the ogre, he holds the battering ram up to try and like deflect it, but it just acts as like a conduit and just conducts the lightning and just shocks him quite badly. And it actually sort of keeps going and hits the hearth and lights the hearth on fire to like illuminate the room.
And she will. She has like 15 feet left of fly speed, so she'll just fly straight up 15 feet.
Okay.
Not completely out of reach of the ogre, but close.
Alrighty, she's above the roof. Miros. Miros.
Neros. He's
Oh yeah, it's still the captain
heard
left
the screaming
as well.
he had heard the screaming up there, and that finally ticks him off, so he's just gonna yell and run towards it and dash.
Alright, he comes thundering down the street, roaring. Some nearby horses get spooked.
Are you gonna turn into a wolf, Mirrors? This is the best time to do it.
I think he's already transformed. Permanently.
I'll blink back in 10 feet over here. And then I'll come running this way, my full movement, 40 feet. And so she flew up in the air, so he'd be in, well, it looks like he's in light anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to throw my sword at
the hearth, it doesn't provide bright light. It's just, he's in the dim light there.
Okay, I'm gonna chuck my sword at him. I'm not actually sure how to do that.
It should be the same
because it's got
attack.
finesse.
Yeah.
same attack roll. It's just thrown. So
Yeah.
that hits.
There's that.
All right, you throw that like a shadowy boomerang, sort of pierces through the ogre, and he just starts screaming.
Alright, and then end of my turn, I.
But you can bonus
Roll my
action summon it back to your hand, and then you can throw it again.
Oh, no kidding! Wow. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you could. Okay, bonus action summon it.
No kidding.
That hits.
Come on, that's a dead ogre.
Alright, you throw that and it hits the ogre, and the ogre just sort of reels his head back, and blood starts pouring down his face, and then he just violently falls forward and just smashes his head on the table, splitting the table in two, and all the frightened commoners scream and sort of run to the back of the building.
And then I just
Friggin' killing machine.
Norin.
Alright, let's try to finish off Little Miss Hobgoblin here.
That is a hit. And
Mark.
you stab her good, but she's still standing, even with deathly wounds.
Let's try to hit her again.
That hits. And you just hit her straight in the chest this time, and she just sort of whispers something in Goblinoid before falling to the ground dead. And all the hostile threats have been dealt with here.
We got the banished dude.
He'll come back in a minute. You guys can surround him, and then when he comes back, roll initiative.
Was he right here?
There's also
somewhere.
fire starts to spread a little bit on this wagon, and
Put the fire out on the wagon.
Yeah, Maxine would fly over and prestidigitate it if Thomas doesn't get to it first.
prestidigitation is enough. Puffs out
You're
the
gonna
fire.
end the banishing before the spell's up, or are you gonna wait for the spell to run out?
Yeah, and I'll drop concentration when we're ready.
You guys run over, and yeah, it's like pretty much one round later. It would only take one round for everyone to get here. And anyone else want to move at all? Do so now.
Well, I'll move over and then. I'm still going.
Maxine would maybe hover a little bit farther in the air, but other than that.
Okay. All right. When this ogre reappears, we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, it comes back here, and whoops, where is this? Spell's getting in the way. All right, let me try and get everyone in here without getting a heap of dead goblins in there. I'll just do it one by one.
The ants go marching one by one. Hoorah! Hoorah!
All right, this ogre, you're all just sort of waiting, and then poof, he pops back into existence, and he's sort of doing the same sort of roar and swing that he was doing just before he disappeared.
Does he get hit by spiritual guardians from
That's-
entering?
He gets hit when he starts his turn in it.
All right, so
He hasn't entered it. He's just he'll
Alright.
he'll get it at the start of his
Yeah.
turn. All right, Ren, you
I can-
attack him.
yeah, reckless attack. I can hit him from where I'm at, right?
Yep, you're within 5 feet of him.
All right.
This is gonna end badly for this ogre. That hits. All right, you just lop the ogre's leg clean off as soon as he comes out because he's a giant.
All right.
Oh, he crashes onto the ground prone.
Take my second attack on him.
And that's a hit. Alright, you hack down into him, and yeah, you just like break through the wooden platform and into ogre flesh.
All right, that's it for me.
Roderick.
gonna step up and then do my max.
That hits. Just stab into him with the quarterstaff. And you stab into him again. Actually, like the shillelagh just really sticks into him. You swing again, but sort of just swings his arm and hits your quarterstaff to the side.
Yep.
Norin.
Kind of get over here out of people's way. And I'll try to stick him with the trident.
That is a miss. Narrow miss. And that hits. As you're like swinging at him, this like roof of the well is just sort of churning, and a big column of black smoke is sort of wafting out above you. You feel a bit of heat, and you stab the ogre, and he's almost dead.
I'll put my unwavering mark on him just in case.
That was some good coughing role playing there as well, Norin. Good work.
Yeah, role play. We'll go with that.
Thomas.
Alright, I'll get a good line of sight on him. I know he's on the ground. So I'll use Tides of Chaos on this. I'll shoot a chromatic orb at level 3. I want to make sure he's dead. And we'll do lightning.
It actually misses, and it just burns a big hole in the ground.
Actually, I'll quicken a firebolt.
Okay. That hits, and you shoot a little firebolt. It just burns.
Should be 20. Should it be 20 damage because I get the max damage?
Oh yeah, that would be. It just obliterates him. A big wave of fire rolls over him and just incinerates the ogre. Okay, now they're all dead.
Ah.
Well, listen if there's any more crashing and stuff going on. If it was just these guys. The ground stopped shaking.
We'll go on over to the Goldenfields map. All right. We'll just go straight over to that map now and see what everyone does. Okay, so these goblinoids in the center of town, or in the town, are all dead. There was no giant. All right, as you guys are finishing up with that fight, Lipholis comes like running up to you guys and like because he's a bit slow, he doesn't reach the town in time to join that fight, but he comes over and sort of sees everyone killing the goblinoids, and what does he do?
He's immediately gonna start yelling at Thomas, but he's gonna call him Lily. I saw you start a fire again. What did I tell you about fire?
I know, I'm sorry.
And then he looks around.
Slowly respond.
I was addressing it to Thomas.
Oh yeah, Thomas. That's right.
I'm
getting
gonna pop into
confused now.
existence behind him.
That was me trying to be a Lily voice since you talked to me.
I'm getting confused myself. Okay. So, all right. As Lipholis was moving through, he did see a band of goblinoids rushing through the town to the animal pen to the northwest, and also you can. Yeah, pretty much that's what he saw when he was making his way over to the animal pen there.
What type of animals is that?
There are sheep, goats, cows.
Quickly to the chicken. Let's rescue the chicken.
Okay. So Lifla suggests rescuing the chickens. And we'll just go over to the party first. So as a party, what do you guys do?
I'll run towards the chickens.
Yeah, let's go save the chickens.
All right.
Yeah, if there's more.
Save the chickens, save the world.
More of this menace in here, we're gonna get rid of them.
All right. As you guys are running over to the chickens, so I had to just reload my page. It's been a bit slow. There we go. All right. As you guys run over to the chickens,
Oh, wait. Do we hear the bells ringing yet?
not
That
yeah, probably.
Okay.
On the way over. All right, I will get to that shortly. So the party runs, and we'll go around now and like check on what all the NPCs are doing. Once again. All right, so Lifilith, what does he do? He's obviously running over to join everyone.
Yes,
Alright.
yeah, he suggested to go rescue the chickens. Well, he
Alright.
remembers as chicken.
He can't keep up with everyone. He's a little bit slow. He's only got 20 feet of movement speed.
Mm.
Well, he'll try his best.
Okay. Alright, he runs after everyone, but falls behind. And Miros, running with everyone as well.
Yeah, that's close to the end.
Okay.
I don't like the sound of that.
Alright, Miros continues to join the party and runs over to defend the animal pens. And Maxine.
Yeah, she'll fly along.
Alright, fly lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, she'll fly as long as she can, and then she'll.
Alright, well, she could get there before everyone else. She could actually beat everyone there, and should get there in under 10 minutes.
Well, if she can avoid walking and running, she'll do that.
Alright, she flies ahead and then sort of perches down near the animal pens and waits for the rest of the party. Okay, and it'll take you guys, it's about a mile, so you guys are running, it takes about 10 minutes to get there. And so we'll just go over to Zi Liang. Alright, Zi Liang, she is going to run over to the Abbey. And she runs inside. There are acolytes just sort of sleeping on bedrolls in this very large hall. And there are some small sort of vestries and other chambers, side chambers, where, like priest chambers, where the acolytes, and also where Eladin, the abbot, sleeps. And Zi Liang climbs to the top of the bell tower and rings the bell.
Yep.
Okay. As you guys are running over, about halfway to the animal pens, you hear this loud bell ringing. And when the bell rings, it can be heard for many miles, and it will put the guards on alert. You start to see, as Zi Liang runs out the front of the Abbey, she is confronted by a group of 10 goblins, a few ogres, some bugbears.
Shit.
And she is confronted there. We'll get back to her.
As we're running towards the animal, do I see anybody in danger, like children or anything like that, for liverless?
No.
Because he could get quite distracted by anything like that.
Well, there was some trouble, like in town there, but as far as he can see, they've all been dealt with. There are people sort of starting to turn their lights on, like lighting candles or lanterns. And what you do encounter Litholis as you're sort of falling short of the party. You encounter Orin, your Givli, just drunkenly stumbling around, sort of screaming through the streets.
Children, go back to your homes. Tell Orin.
Alright. How does Orin respond to that?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking I was going to be closer to the end because he was going to go guard the ale. He did his part now.
Put it safely in his belly.
Yeah.
Alright, as Orin runs back then towards the tavern, he is ambushed by 4 bugbears. They jump out from hiding of a nearby longhouse. And I don't think it's going to end very well for poor Orin, unfortunately. Okay, Ziliang, she's had time to ring the bell, and what does she do now? She's being confronted by another band of these goblinoids. She sort of runs out and they're heading straight to the Abbey. What does she do? Does she stand in front of the Abbey and defend it? Does she try to slip away? Does she wait for guards?
She tries to lure them away from the Abbey. Excuse me. She tries to lure them away from the Abbey.
Alright, where does she want to lure them?
Towards the party.
Oh, she doesn't know where the party is. She does not know where they are.
She didn't have I guess it's dark out.
Yeah, that fight was like a mile away, almost. He is not aware of the party.
Sorry, so how many is she facing?
About 20 or so. There is...
wow. Is there capable fighters in the Abbey?
Just the abbot, who is like a druid himself, but the rest are just lowly acolytes, and they're pretty much just glorified farmers.
She is going to stand her ground and defend whoever's in the Abbey until help comes, if it comes.
Okay. Well, she knows that help's not going to come from the guards. She does not trust in the guards of the town. That's her law. Or bond, I think.
Yeah. But I feel like she wouldn't just abandon helpless people in the Abbey. Is she not a fighter at all, or is she...
Every one of these NPCs are capable of fighting and defending their homes. But I mean, if she's waiting for the guards, she wouldn't wait for the guards, is what I'm saying.
She didn't... Yeah, she's not waiting for the guard. She's just waiting for any help if there's anyone capable within the Abbey.
Okay, well, she knows...
That's why I was asking if there's anyone capable of fighting in the Abbey.
And the answer was no.
Oh, you said that the abbot was?
Yeah, he is capable of fighting. He's a druid, so he could fight. So she waits for him to come out.
Yeah, she's not going to abandon them. She's not going to abandon innocent, helpless people, I feel.
Okay. Alright, the party run over to the animal pens, and there are goblinoids crawling all over the animal pens. Takes about 15 minutes. Actually, before we get there, I forgot about Shalvis. So, actually, let's go back. Alright, Shalvis actually runs over first. So he gets there a good 20 minutes before the party's going to arrive, although he doesn't know that they're coming. So what does Shalvis do? He comes to the animal pens and he sees goblins sort of spearing sheep, bugbears just ripping up crops, ogres beating down some sort of sheds, and hobgoblins just sort of dictating where all of this. What does he do?
He doesn't care about most of them, but the goblins killing sheep are a problem. He wants to stop that. On the other hand, he can't really kill all that. So I think the only way to save them is to try to give them a better target. He's going to try to shoot the goblins attacking the sheep, get their attention, and then try to hide in these fields. Pull them away from the sheep.
There's they're crawling all over the place. So he's going to shoot into the animal pen, try and shoot a goblin.
Yeah, try to kill the goblins that are attacking the animals.
As he looks there, he's definitely not going to be able to kill the goblins. They're going to overwhelm him pretty much. But he can make an attack roll.
There wouldn't be a way to shoot from a distance and then
he doesn't have dark
when he has
vision.
their attention. Oh.
He's a human. Goblins are all using dark vision.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm not sure what he would do in this situation. I don't know, help me out here. I'm not sure why he would be motivated to stay beyond just trying to help the sheep, and he clearly can't attack into this and kill them.
Alright, if he's not staying, then where is he going?
He needs help. He can't stop this on his own, so he's gonna run towards where he would think the nearest help is. I'm not sure if that would be town or maybe this over here. Whichever way would seem more like he could find some.
Alright, well, he knows that the captain of the guard, Strog Thunderblade, he's usually sleeping at this time. You do not hear the bells yet, and it's about 1.5 miles up the road to get to the barracks. But you also did see this group of able adventurers sort of run off towards the town.
Which one of those would be closer? He'll go to the closer one.
Okay, that's the party. Alright, he starts heading towards the party, and then you will intercept the party as you're running towards them. And then as you're running, you hear the bell, and you know that the guard will be alerted. And what do you do when you encounter the party?
Hysterically try to convince them to come help. The town's under attack by a bunch of goblinoids up here. Probably verging on panic, because he wants to save as many of his animals as...
Okay. So you guys encounter Shalvis, and he points you guys towards the nearest animal pen where goblinoids are attacking. You guys were headed there, so you will run together. And there are quite a lot of them. You guys run in, and Shalvis joins you all. And where are the NPCs? I forgot the NPCs. Let me go back and grab everyone, actually. And you can readjust your marching order if you like. I'm just gonna grab everyone's tokens again because I forgot to grab the NPCs. If you want to change your marching order, but as soon as you guys run down this dirt road, there's a farmstead here. There's a few sheds and crops. You see an ogre 10 feet away from you guys as you're around the corner, just smashing this door in. I'm gonna roll initiative.
How much time did it take to arrive?
It took you guys about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So just over a mile trekking through dirt roads, long houses, and sort of meandering between buildings and whatnot.
Doesn't do me any good to be in the front if I've rolled last on the initiative. Damn.
Alright,
means at least he can take some arrows for us.
Okay. Animal pens are under siege. And you're up.
Okay. I'm assuming that I'm still mounting on top of Ka, so I am going to get over here, and as a bonus action, how long has it been since we fought the last fight?
About 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay, so Hunter's Mark should still be active, so I'm just gonna transfer it.
Okay.
It's a bonus action. And Kai's gonna actually Kai's gonna buy him first.
That hits. Kai just snaps onto the ogre's leg, and he resists the poison, but he does roar out in pain and sort of grab his leg. And the battering ram just sort of slugs into the ground.
And as my main action, I'm gonna try to hit with the rapier, but of course I miss.
It's a miss. Roderick.
Yep.
You guys can sort of vaguely see silhouettes. There are bugbears sort of moving around the trees. You can hear goats screaming bloody murder. A lot of movement to the west. Rows of crops and whatnot that Shav has sort of scouted out already. He tells you the numbers, and it seems like it's almost the identical numbers as the last group you fought, plus 4 bugbears. A couple of ogres, 10 goblins, hobgoblins. Okay, Roderick. Are you there? Hello? Did we just lose him? It just cut out.
It dropped out like, as soon as I moved.
No problem.
Did it move me though? Let's see.
No, you're still in the same spot.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see that. Let's see if I can... Has that moved me now?
Nope.
Well, anyway, let's see if things work. I'll just...
It's not showing you in the game, but...
Okay, I'll refresh it. See if that works.
Okay. Are you like just running up to the ogre and attacking it?
Yeah.
Alright, though.
3 hits.
Oh, you're back in now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go there. See if I can... My character sheet loads properly. Nope, I don't have a character sheet apparently.
Alright, I'm gonna roll for you just so we can keep this combat rolling. So you're making 3 attacks with your quarterstaff.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, you go over and you actually hit only with your first attack. You whack the ogre for 6 bludgeoning damage with a 17, and then your second attack's a natural 1, and your third attack is a 10. And that'll be you. Lily.
Alright, let's do a Shadow Blade. Here, I'll do the throw action against the ogre that they're beating.
That is a direct hit.
Wow.
Alright, the Shadow Blade, it hits him and he just sort of roars a little bit. Arrgh! The psychic damage.
There we go.
Thomas.
Okay. This ogre's enough taller than Andrew that he's not gonna get.
No, he doesn't have cover because he's large.
Gonna snap, crackle, and pop him with lightning level 2.
That is a direct hit. It just strikes the ogre and almost knocks him off of his feet. There's just a big column of smoke rising up from a lethal looking wound. Maxine.
She'll try to finish off the with a firebolt.
That misses him. Narrowly whizzes by.
And she is this a stone? Is this a fence here?
It's a low stone wall. It's about 4 foot tall. It'll be difficult terrain to go over it.
Oh, well, if it's just difficult terrain to get over, she'll do that. Kind of get on the other side of it, get a little bit of cover, and that'll be her turn.
All right, some goblins respond, and you can see some figures shuffling around in some trees and that, and a couple of goblins come to investigate, and they start attacking you guys with bows. One of them's going to shoot at Roderick with short bow. Miss. The other one's going to shoot at Norin.
That hits.
You hit for 5 piercing damage, and they both run around the corner, and they both use their bonus action to hide from everyone. 15 on their stealth checks. Some more goblins are going to respond, and you can hear some goats just getting slaughtered first of all. And then some more movement. A goblin runs up over here, takes a shot at Roderick. That arrow misses. Okay. Here's some goblin voices crying out. Goats are bleeding and panicking and running around. Rend.
Alright, so my move is 40, so that means I can make it to that other ogre or whatever is kind of in the distance.
If you move through another creature, it's counted as difficult terrain.
Who am I moving through?
Chalvis. This guy.
Oh. Guy in front of me.
Just know that if you move through his square, he's wearing a big woolen coat, so it'll feel nice.
Then I guess I'll just go to the closest one then. Yeah. And then attack that dude. Go into a rage. And then... yeah, and then attack.
That hits. Alright, you run over and just cut both of the ogre's legs clean off.
As well as should be.
Bloody stump just splatters onto the ground.
So how much more movement do I have?
Well, you used 10, 15, 20, 25. So you got 45 left. Sorry, 15 left.
Alright, so...
3 squares.
10, 15.
And this ogre starts swinging this chain around in anticipation of you, Ren. Miros.
Me too.
Alright, Miros is ticked now, so I'm gonna start running towards the closest thing you can see. And shoot him.
One of these goblins just scream when he sees Miros.
I asked Roderick, is he gonna turn into a wolf now?
I am a wolf.
Alright, is he just shooting the bugbear?
Yeah.
Alright, you raise the bugbear with that crossbow bolt.
He'll throw down the crossbow and pull out a club.
Okay. Alright, the bugbears. This one is going to rush you, Miros, and he's got a big wooden club with this sort of iron plate with spikes sticking out of it. And he attacks you with it. And he just bashes you for 10 damage. A couple of bugbears rush Rend, and they both attack with their morning stars. First one hits you, Rend, for 8 piercing damage. Second one misses you. Another bugbear rushes forward, and he's going to pull out a javelin, and he's going to throw it at Miros. And that misses. Shalvis.
So I can't actually see from his token.
Oh, did I not do his sight?
Do you want me to?
Okay. I must have missed or not saved his sight. There we go.
There it is. Okay, so does he know Miros? Does he know who that is?
Yep, he was staying at Miros's tavern.
Would he like him?
I mean, he wouldn't dislike him.
I wanna try to help him. So
it might be very good for the Zentarum if you'd saved or helped, you know, a notable figure in town.
Yeah, I'll look like a hero. Okay. I will fire the crossbow at the bugbear that's attacking Miros.
And that misses the bugbear.
Okay. And I just get the one attack, it looks like.
Yep.
That's his whole turn.
Than.
Than's gonna run up to here and lay down an attack on this bugbear or whatever it is with a short sword.
It's a bear bug.
It is a miss. Just sort of
Bonus
hits
action.
animal hides that he's wearing.
Oops. Cancel that. Where it is? There it is.
Spiritual dove.
Bonus action. Yeah.
Alright, spiritual weapon sort of flutters down from the tree and slams into the bugbear, hitting him. Thumps him in the back, winding him.
And that should be it.
Another female hobgoblin. She draws a greatsword and starts calling out in goblinoid, Reshkor, Makduk, Mekrekduk, Rushtahuglaka. And as she says that, Duftekor Makubliet cries to her battle god. And anyone around her that hears that will feel themselves inspired.
Including us?
Wow, that's awesome.
No, unless you're jumping ship and gonna start fighting for them.
I'm so inspired that
It was very inspiring.
Alright, Hobgoblin.
Where's her token though? I don't see it.
She's like over here. You guys just hear her voice. They can see you guys, and this Hobgoblin's gonna take a shot at Than. And this will be advantage because you can't see the Hobgoblin Than. Hobgoblin. It's a longbow attack. And it's a 22. It hits you, and he gets martial advantage because you have a bugbear near you, Dan, and when that when hobgoblins attack, and they have an ally within 5 feet of their attacker or attackee, they do extra damage because they're like finding weaknesses and whatnot. It's like a sneak attack basically. So you take 10 piercing damage in total. And it's just one male hobgoblin, and he just stays there. Alright, as you're running up to this ogre brute Rend, he's just swinging this chain around. And he's just gonna straight up try and like hit you in the face with it. He moves up and chain smash. It misses. It just flies through the air and just slides along the ground. And the ogre ends his turn there. Norin.
Alright. Run over here. My pacifist is 16, so can I see both of these?
But they're both ducking down near this pumpkin patch, and they're both wearing, like, they're trying to act like pumpkins. You just see their heads like poke out of the top of the pumpkin.
Alright.
They quickly hide in the pumpkins.
I'll throw the first jab.
That misses. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, sorry, that does miss. Sticks into the pumpkin. Narrow miss.
Alright, I'll pull out another javelin and throw again. Except instead of against the goblins, I'll try to stick this bugbear.
Yeah.
I'll throw a different javelin for him.
Bugbear javelin.
I don't have one of those yet.
Yet.
Orcish javelin.
It is a miss. You took the wrong javelin and hits the ground.
Yep, I already used my second win, so man, what a sorry first turn.
Alright, this ogre is not messing around. The other one didn't get a turn, but this one is angry. And he is gonna start doing some ranged attacks. Where is it? Ready! You notice on the back of the platform they've got this like slingshot device. It's sort of like a trebuchet. Little goblins are jumping into the sling and adjusting these little sort of spiked helmets on their heads. A couple of them have helmets, a couple of them don't. And they just a goblin goes flying through the air. Fan. This one doesn't have a helmet. And Than, you are hit with the goblin. You take 6 bludgeoning damage, and the goblin is just splattered against you.
No.
Wow.
That's going to be hard to get out of your armor.
Another one. Now the goblin loads himself in. This one has a spiked helmet, and the ogre howder moves forward a little bit, and he's going to fire a goblin at Rend. Spiked helmet goblin comes flying. And it misses you, Rend. He just goes flying over and just smears against the wall of this building for 52 bludgeoning damage.
What the hell?
Fire! Another one. This one's gonna go flying at Roderick. It's a spiked
How
helmet
many
one.
can he shoot in a fucking round?
It's the goblins' readied actions that are doing it. These goblins didn't go before. Alright, this is coming at you, Roderick. Just gets splattered against the wall for 85 bludgeoning damage. And one more. No helmet.
Jesus.
And this one's gonna be at Thomas at advantage. What's your AC? All right, it misses you, Thomas, and just splatters against the ground.
Bad for the cloak.
Well, he's doing the job for us.
And he starts pointing at other goblins. Get on! Yelling at more goblins to come jump in. Ander.
Right. I am going to move over here. And as a bonus action, I'm gonna put the Hunter's Mark on this guy. Guy's gonna bite him.
That hits. And Mr. Ogre. Resist the poison. It hurts him though. It's a sharp bite.
And going to swing with the rapier.
And that
I
hits.
hit something.
Alright, yeah, this ogre with the chain is like completely unarmored, and it's just the easiest target to hit. You just stick the rapier straight into his belly and he roars, his blood starts to spill out.
Right.
Roderick.
Okay, I'm gonna step up to the ogre and command him to flee.
Alright, he understands flee. And he makes a wisdom save. And he fails. So on his turn he's gonna run.
Does that provoke opportunity attacks?
Yeah.
Is that considered?
His action. Yeah.
Yep, it would. And was it flee is like he dashes away and then
He
he dashes away.
turns its turn moving away from you by the fastest means available.
Okay, he might jump in the
So
slingshot.
if that is dashing. Yeah, maybe. I'm happy. I'm fine with that. I should have told him to load. Load.
Lily. Oh, he is an ogre, so don't put it past him. Like the stupidest creatures in existence.
This guy that's just being assaulted on all sides. We're gonna throw a told. Oh my goodness, these rolls. I guess it doesn't matter.
Bugbear succeeds. Thomas.
I'll just be looking at my sword, sadly.
I presume you
Nice,
bonus
yeah.
action pull that back to your hand as well, Lily. Is there anything?
Yeah, that seems fair.
Going to, I don't like seeing Miros in trouble. So I'm gonna shoot a lightning orb at that.
Miros has a lot of people coming to his aid.
He serves all the alcohol.
Popular guy.
Alright. That is a direct hit. It sort of hits the bugbear in the chest and he's reeling back, close to death. Maxine.
She'll hop the fence 10 feet. 20. She is going to. She's gonna pop a magic missile at 2nd level. I'm gonna split the darts. I want to make sure he's dead. I want 2 of them to hit that bugbear and the other 2 to hit the ogre up here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and she's got her special water davy magic.
Alrighty, the first 2 do, would that be 5 points of damage. They slam into that bugbear and they just both pummel him to the ground. And then the rest of the damage would be 7 points. So those whiz over and slam into that other ogre and they batter him pretty badly too.
She nods and she looks appreciatively at Lily because Lily is also using magic. And, you know, she thinks that magic is the way to go.
Throw a 2-fingered salute back at her.
That's what she does.
All right, you guys hear more blood-curdling screams of goats being slaughtered. Cheeky goblins are just picking off goats just to...
And that's from over here?
Over in this direction.
Okay.
Time to
And
fight back.
one goblin is going to run over and going to jump in the ogre howdah as a dash action. And another goblin is take a look. He's gonna hide behind this wall as a bonus action. And he's gonna pop out and shoot Norin with advantage.
Yeah.
And an arrow whizzes by you, Norin, and then you see a goblin just sort of jump back behind this wall. It's like 4-foot high stone wall. And this location is revealed. These other two goblins draw scimitars, burst out of their pumpkins, and rush you, Norin.
Alrighty. Yes.
You just take one sweep of your weapon and whatever you've got and just block both attacks.
I'm empty-handed except for the shield, so...
Okay. They then take disengage as a bonus action, and they both run back. And that's it for the goblins. Right, one of these goats has just had enough. He's sick of seeing all of his other goat buddies dying, and he rushes the goblin with a...
Get him, goat.
And that actually hits the goblin, and the goblin has to take a bit of extra damage from a ram. So the goblin is sort of crunched, and it like sends the goblin flying. Oh yeah, it gets a strength save. The goblin doesn't budge. Another goat hides. Rend.
Alright. Do a reckless attack. And I'm also going to do the Great Weapon Master. So a -5 to hit, but add the 10 to damage to the one right there.
Okay. A 12 is a miss.
Damn. Alright, then just a regular attack for my second one. I mean, it's reckless still, but...
Yeah. That hits.
Alright.
Alright, you slash into the bugbear and sort of cut through some of his animal hides. You become caked in blood.
Yeah. And... yeah, that's it for now.
Miros.
Miros notices these goblins down here, and he's runs at this one and just tries to hug, but not very gently.
He comes over and the goblin gets a little bit confused, and he holds out his hands too to like embrace Miros, and Miros just grabs him and just start, like, you hear the goblin's bones just popping, Norin. And so the goblin is grappled and takes damage at the start of each of Miros' turns. The goblin's just screaming as he gets crushed to death. Alright, bugbears. This one moves up to you, Ander, and takes a swing with his Morning Star at you. And he hits you. 12 piercing damage. This
I
one...
am going to use my reaction to second chance that.
Okay. He re-rolls the attack roll. Again.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh, maybe you should have done that.
Yeah.
Not so lucky after all.
No, that was a lie.
Alright.
That was false advertisement.
You duck underneath it, and then you think you're like, I'm safe, and then he just swings again. Hits you for 22 piercing damage.
Jesus.
Actually, it'll be 21 because I'll take that first. It doesn't. Not supposed to re-roll the damage. One less. And this bugbear attacks Roderick. And that misses. And then this one attacks Rend. And Rend, you're hit for 5 piercing damage from the bugbear. Alright, Shalvis, you can hear the bloody screams of the goats in the animal pen.
Oh yeah, he's coming. He's torn because he wants credit for killing that ogre up there and thinks he might have a chance, but he's also running to help his goats. I think
you see one goat bravely fighting for his life.
Can't leave that goat alone.
No, it's got to be to say. Let's do a d20. 1 through 10 is the goat, help the goat, and the other one is skill. I guess he's shooting at the ogre. Let's see.
Alright, the goat's gonna die. That's a miss. Goat would die anyway.
I kind of guessed that.
Right, you think Miros is in trouble too, and he sort of looks like an animal.
He does, doesn't he? But I just get the one attack, so that's all he does.
Damn.
Okay, moving spiritual weapon up to this guy and attacking with it on that guy.
It's a miss.
Okay, and I'm gonna move up to let's see here. I'll move up just to here, and I'm gonna attack this guy. I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna cast Vampiric Touch
Okay.
on him. If I can find it, here we go. Ooh.
Alright, your hand glows red, and I think that one's a concentration, right?
Yep.
You try to grab him, but you grab the air instead. I don't think it'll do the spell slot unless you do the damage, but yeah.
Okay.
Familiar
Want me
with
to
the
do it
spell
next
though.
time then? Since I don't.
Oh, I'm just saying. Up to you. However you want to do it.
Okay, I'll end my turn. Oop. Shit.
Alright, the Hobgoblin Captain is going to move forward. And she's going to see Norin throw on some javelins. And she's going to move forward 5 more feet and do the same. She's going to throw a javelin at Norin.
It's a javelin up.
Sticks into the ground. And then she sort of points you out, Norin, and draws her greatsword. And Hobgoblin, on the other hand, he's going to still be inspired by the calls to Maglubiet and move forward, sort of lean down, arc that longbow up in the air and try and hit Ander. And it's a miss. D4. Still a miss. Alright, the Ogre Brute, he turns around and he needs to get away. And that slingshot, that trebuchet is looking very getting awayness to him. Whoa! Let me on! And he runs and provokes an opportunity attack from Andikar and Roderick. Well, just
we could just
Car and
leave
Roderick.
him and see what happens.
Right? That's just what I was thinking. Just let him on.
Car leaves no one. Car just whips forward and just bites the ogre and sort of nips him on the leg. And are you attacking Roderick?
Yeah, I will.
Alright, you hit him too. And Roderick, you just sort of break many bones and they sort of crunch. And the ogre runs and gets to about here and then suddenly just falls face first onto the ground dead.
Nice.
His chain just slams into the ground and that's it for the Ogre Brute. Norin.
Alright, so I have a question. This is can I see what's kind of what's going on over here? Like, does this goblin have like a cover?
Yeah, he has 3/4 cover because it's like a 4-foot tall stone wall.
Oh my god. Shavius was never going to hit that goblin.
I'm gonna run to there, pull out my trident, and I'm gonna stab the goblin that Miros is holding.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I guess Miros pulls him back like mine or something.
Fucking snake eyes.
All right, if that's how you feel about it, Miros. Shit.
Do it again.
Is that trident, Nori?
It's gotta be.
You got too many good rolls on it before. It's
Yeah. I'm gonna
Throw a javelin at him.
Right, the goblin's gonna still just try and bite you as you move away, Norin.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he doesn't bite you.
Miros just got too good of a hold on him. That's why I didn't hit him. I didn't want to hit Miros. Pulled my punch. And I'll kind of like do my best to throw the trident at this goblin here.
In the trash can?
He has 3/4 cover, so right.
Yeah, it'll be 3/4 still from there.
Okay.
And that hits the wall.
Son of a bitch. I'm not gonna pick up that trident until we're leaving.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be Norn's turn.
All right, this ogre is going to start moving forward, and he rushes Shalvis, goblin on his back, and just has this big old mace in his hand, and he swings at Shalvis. And what's his AC? 13? Does that hit? It does.
Yeah, it is 13. So
Shalvis gets hit for 10 bludgeoning damage, and the other goblin gets ready to maybe jump in the trebuchet, but he actually could reach you with a melee attack. He's up there on the platform. Anda.
Quick question: how far back is Lifferland?
Well, he's going to be. He was going like 1/3 slower than everyone, so about 4 minutes away.
Oh, all right. Okay, Anders gonna move the hunter's mark to this guy. Kai's going to buy him.
Okay, Car misses.
Ka misses. What? Oh, that's
For the first time
some
ever.
trickery. Yeah. So, and Anders gonna swing with the rapier.
That
That
hits.
hits.
Alright, you stab into the bugbear in one of his vital spots, and he's hurting from that attack. Roderick.
Alright. Just gonna do normal attacks against this guy next to me.
That is a miss. Second attack hits, and you whack the bugbear in the ribs, breaking a few bones.
Nice.
Lily.
alright, let's. Yeah, I can make it this far, and I'm gonna attack this guy here. With the Shadow Blade. Directed to my north.
That hits him. You just shove the Shadow Blade into him, and his face just starts bleeding. He roars out in pain and collapses to the ground dead.
Okay, and then I will, you know what, I'll throw it at this guy. That one probably doesn't hit.
That does miss.
And then I'll call it back to me as a bonus action.
just is back in your hand. A trail of sort of black energy trailing off of it. Thomas.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a sorcery point to twin lightning balls at the ogre and the goblin.
Thought you were going to say bolts.
Alright, first one is the ogre, second one is the goblin.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, you hit the ogre, and it just shocks him.
Shocking.
The goblin, you miss, narrowly miss.
Oh. Damn. And... yeah, it's
Maxine.
Alright. She'll... Where do I need to stand to line up a lightning bolt on the ogre and the hobgoblin? I know the tree's kind of in the way there.
The tree doesn't provide total cover, so yeah, you could do it. You could stand there. They're going to get half cover from the tree trunk. +2 onto their saving throw.
That's fine. And she'll pop a lightning bolt. Yeah, that's a...
Alright, the ogre makes a dexterity save. And it just cuts through him. Keeps on shooting forward, and Captain, she jumps to the side. A couple of arcs zap her. Oops.
Yeah, she would have made it anyway.
And there's a little sort of line of fire passed across the ground.
Alright, and then she's not stupid. She'll
Like
kind
that.
of get over here after she's done. And that's her turn.
Alright, this goblin is going to run and jump over the wall. And he's going to take a shot at Miros. And Miros is hit for 4 piercing damage.
no.
The goblin that you're grabbing, Miros, he then tries to slash you with a scimitar. What's your AC?
10.
Alright, he just grabs the scimitar and starts soaring away. And slashes you for 7 damage. Alright,
Okay, I still got a point.
this goblin's gonna lean down and attack Shalvis with a scimitar.
Okay.
And Shalvis
that definitely
is hit for 7 damage. One goblin's going to turn around and attack the goat that he's next to. He misses the goat. And
Nice.
a couple more goblins are going to take the hide action, or hide bonus action. And what's your passive there? Alright, one of them pokes their head around the corner, Norin, to shoot you. And you see it.
Okay.
You got half cover from the wall. That's a miss. The other one, though, you don't see him. He has advantage. He just peers around the corner. And he hits you, even with cover.
Yeah.
5 piercing damage. And then runs back around the corner. And that is all the goblins. Alright, this goat
Finish
is...
that goblin off.
This goat is not done yet. He's pissed off and he just headbutts the goblin. The goblin's almost dead.
Get him, goblin. Get him.
Ren.
Alright, do reckless attack and the great weapon master again.
Okay. That is a 15. I'm not sure which bugbear you're attacking, but it does
miss. The one, right. Oh.
Narrowly misses him.
Wow. Alright, then just a regular attack against him again.
And that hits him. Alright, you hit him hard with the axe and it just cuts through his furs and leaves him close to death.
Alright. And yeah, that's it.
Alright, at the start of Miros's turn, the goblin gets, like, just crushed to death. Miros just lets go and just a mangled goblin falls onto the ground dead.
Awesome.
Alright. I was trying to remember where he dropped his crossbow. It's up by that other bugbear. So I'll dash up here.
There's a short bow as well. You could grab that if you want.
Oh, okay. The goblin short.
Yeah, I think it's like it's 1d6. Same attack roll. +2, and then it does 1d6 damage instead.
Alright, he's gonna shoot the ogre.
Okay. I think you should just be able to do like a dexterity check. Or roll the damage.
1d6?
That hits. Yep, 1d6 damage. And sort of sticks into the ogre.
Aha! And
the ogre points at you. Get the cow for the giants, he says as he points at you, Miros.
ah!
Alright, bugbears. There are 2 bugbears. And one of them's going to attack Roderick. And hit Roderick for 13 piercing damage. Another one's going to attack Rend. And Rend, you're hit for 4 piercing damage.
Alright.
And they just stand their ground, attacking relentlessly. Shalvis.
Alright, so he doesn't feel brave like trying to 1v1 this ogre.
You can still hear the
definitely
goats
wants to get out of its face, but
screaming
yeah,
and crying. Well,
yeah,
one
he still
goat's
wants to get over
fighting
there,
for his
so-
life. He's almost calling for you, Shalvis. It's your favorite goat.
he's coming, he's coming. He's going to disengage and run that way.
Shalvis! You think you hear.
He used his action though, so that's all he can do.
Alright, he takes a look and is utterly dismayed as he just sees, well, dead goats filling this animal.
God damn it. They got Billy and Bob.
Okay. Dan.
Okay, I'll take another attack at this hobgoblin with the vampiric touch.
That is a hit.
Alright.
Alright, you just swipe at the hobgoblin, and this sort of red wind is like absorbed into you. And that goblin, his face just turns purple. Dead.
Alright. And I'll move the spiritual weapon down to this guy and make an attack on the ogre.
Okay.
Or whatever he is. Okay.
And that hits the ogre. The dove does a little dive down and just bashes the ogre in the head. He's hurt.
Alrighty, and I will move. Let's see here.
Do you gain life with vampiric touch?
Yep.
Yeah, like you healed for like half, I think.
Yeah,
What
you
you'd
do.
have. Yeah.
I think I'll move towards the goat pen. I believe. So is this are these bushes rough terrain?
They're
or
trees. Like the
okay, so
trunk in the center is like difficult terrain. Like go past a bit. Other than that, the trees are above you. Like
So
fighting
we're
underneath
one round
them.
away from that being a pen and no longer a goat pen.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I can go to there, and that will be the end. And
All
the
right.
spiritual weapon is down. Yep. There we go.
You rush the captain, and she turns to you, Than, and she attacks you instead of Norin. She swings, and she hits you for 6 damage.
Okay, I didn't take this. I didn't add the 6, so I'll just leave it. That's
Okay.
Nothing.
She then skirts around a little bit, and skirts around a little bit more, and then goes back here, and then goes here, but then goes back over here, and then she attacks.
Shit.
And she hits you for
Dancing
7
and leaving.
damage. And ends her turn there. Alright, she sort of does a little battle cry. Cheko! Rextok! Guliataka! And this hobgoblin just draws a longsword, slinging his longbow over his shoulder, and actually 10, 15, 20. He's actually not going to be able to reach you, Than. So instead, he takes a shot at you as he's running with his longbow. And it's a miss.
That's why you don't run and shoot.
Exactly. Norin.
I'll reluctantly pick up the trident. I'll pick it up off the ground. And then I'm tired of this goblin in here, so I'm gonna hop the fence. I'm gonna try to kill him.
Yeah, you will.
And that is
Is that a miss?
a miss. Yes, he has a shield, so he blocks it. He doesn't
There you
block
go.
that. I used to do like a team attack with the goat. The goat pins him down, and you just stab the trident like into him and into the ground.
I like fist bump the goat, but like he like rams my fist. And there are a couple more goblins over here, so I'm just gonna position myself over here.
Right, they scream when you come around the corner.
Oh, there's another goat way back here. How about that? There's two
Yeah,
goats
there is
alive.
one. There is one hiding behind the well this whole time. He's been.
Yeah, I'm just getting my turn there.
Right, the ogre stomps over towards you, and this goblin sort of has to duck down because he just like breaks a heap of branches as he moves over towards you, Than, and then the ogre just roars, "Grrr!" and tries to hit you with a mace. And he gets a plus 1d4 onto that, but it's still gonna miss. That's it for the ogre howler. Ender.
Okay. I'm going to take an attack opportunity and go help Than over there. So I'm gonna get over here.
The bugbear's gonna attack Car,
Okay.
and he hits Car for 13 piercing damage.
Ooh, that hurt. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to bonus action move the Hunter's Mark to this Hobgoblin. Cause it's gonna bite her. Yeah.
Alright, she bites good. And, the captain, she's hurting, but she tries not to show it. She fails to save against the poison.
And Ander's gonna swing with the rapier. Oh shit.
That is a miss. Roderick.
See if we can finish off this bugbear next to me. It's the standard way. Maybe not.
First attack is a miss. And second attack is a miss. He just holds up his Morning Star and blocks your attacks. Lily.
Alright, I'm gonna see the opportunity. I'm gonna try to sprint down here and kill most of them in the trap.
Alright, looks like you're in dim light there too. That hits. Alright, you just slash at the ogre and he just screams and crashes onto the ground. This goblin jumps out and uses your action to land on his feet.
And then let's see. 10 more feet, and I'll do the same to this cat.
And that hits. Wait,
Just 9 this time.
and she just sort of flinches her head. Thomas.
Okay. Going to try to acid splash the captain in the hub.
Alright, the hobgoblin fails and he takes 5 damage. The captain makes a dex save. She also fails. Acid splashes both of them.
Nice. And yeah, that's it.
Maxine.
Alright.
What does Mira say, like, now that he's got Maxine, like, sort of alone there, like...
Probably something very inappropriate.
Try to make a pass at her.
Something Roderick-like.
Whatever he says, she'll like throw her staff like towards him, and then like a firebolt will shoot like right over his shoulder. And let's go for this hobgoblin over here. Let me pull up her sheet.
You singed
Miros has got her all bothered.
eyebrows. Miros could swear that that was aimed at him.
She like whacks him with the quarterstaff. Get out of the way, you fool! Kind of steps back over.
You think you singed his eyebrows, but you don't really know where his eyebrows start and like where the rest of his hair, where his eyebrows stop and the rest of his hair starts. It's like all just one giant eyebrow.
It's the craziest unibrow in existence. Yeah, that's her.
Alright, you
turn.
guys hear the bell ring, and one goblin, he just like runs off when he hears that bell ring. So, Jian Lang. Wait, what's her name? Zi Liang, sorry. She's ringing that bell and you hear it again. And it does cause a little bit of panic. You do see a couple of more goblins sort of run off. They just sort of hightail it out of here. But the bugbear, he is not going to run.
Like they're running towards the noise or running away?
They run away. Whatever direction is further away from you guys, they run in that direction. But they all look to the southeast in the direction of the bell. The bugbear doesn't run though. He swings at Roderick. Misses. I don't know why I did the bugbear's turn. It's supposed to be the goblin's turn. But anyway. Slacks you out, Roderick. I'll just say they went then. and there's only one goblin left. So he is going to like just that hobgoblin captain like yells at him, so he runs up and tries to attack them. Alright, the goat comes over to you, Shalfus, and it just licks you and starts chewing on your coat. Rend.
I'm gonna reckless attack this guy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You get quite frustrated, and you end up just not his legs. You cut his head off. Just that bugbear head just rolls along the dirt road. One
Like,
swift
finally.
cleave.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Is this guy still alive?
Yeah.
So let's see. I think I can make it right
He
there.
should be able to make it over to him easy.
Yeah, and then attack him, and then it's still reckless attack.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
You just hit the goblin and just split him clean in two and just cleave into the ground, and blood just splatters everywhere. And you even cut off the fallen ogre's head as well.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and his legs. He was sort of bent over and twisted. And
Yeah, so I'm out of movement, so that's it for me.
all right, Miros, you're all alone with Naxine over here, and feel like maybe you could protect her or impress her. Or...
Hey, how you doing? I'll buy you a drink later.
Now is
It's
not
all-
the time, Miros.
How's that
Watch
make you feel,
this.
Miros? Are you angry about being rejected?
Oh shit.
It only runs 30 feet. Runs 30 feet and then shoots the hobgoblin. Or tries to.
Do you actually pick up your crossbow? It was around there somewhere, and that's a direct hit. It just headshots the hobgoblin, killing him instantly.
Nexine didn't see that though.
All right, Shalvis.
Okay, so there's just the two goats left, and does he see anybody left killing goats?
No, a couple of goblins that were left here. They ran off. They sort of dashed off to the northwest.
He wants to. Is it an action if I call the goats over to me? Try to. They should know me, right?
Yeah, you could use your action, make an animal handling check with advantage, wisdom check.
Interestingly, I don't see animal handling as a skill of his.
Presume he's proficient, so add on a +5. He should have it. This is a sheep herder. Actually, I don't really know if he's really a good sheep herder. He's just pretending to be.
No, he's not. He's really not.
He's actually shit this goat just like, what the fuck? The goat doesn't like you.
No, but Bessie, you know.
It
He probably comes in.
Go kill another one.
only
Tired
came
of
up
being
to you because it
molested
wanted
by-
to eat your fancy cloak that you've got on.
It does look like a very warm coat, doesn't it?
But really, now the goat is highly aggressive towards you.
He's gonna die to this goat. I know it, but that's okay. That's his turn. He's gonna try to collect the goats.
Okay. Dan.
All right, I'll move the spiritual weapon over here and attack the leader or
Yep. She's the only one left. The captain, hobgoblin captain.
captain.
Is she a tiefling? Can you tell by the art?
She's a hobgoblin.
Oh, okay, those aren't horns.
Nope. Female hobgoblin. That hits. Alright, the dove slams into her.
Alright, and I will attack as well.
And that hits. You grab her by the neck and black veins sort of spiral outwards and start to sort of wilt her as this red wind washes over you and heals you.
And I think that's it.
Alright, she looks around and sees all of her allies are dead and then whispers a prayer to her hobgoblin god Maglubiet, and then she just sort of kisses her greatsword, the blade of her greatsword, and then she swings it at you, Than. And she misses. And she brings it around. Yeah?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say anything.
And then, yeah, she's going to swing it at Than again. And she's going to miss. That's the end of her turn. Norin.
This is another 4-foot wall, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 15, then it'll be 25 to get across over here.
I just imagine you Superman over it.
Well, I'm like over 7 foot tall, so it's probably just like a...
More like a hurdle.
Yeah, just a little hurdle. And then I'm not going to be able to get all the way up to her anyway, so I have the trident in my hand, so I'll throw the trident at her.
Yeah, I swear he's Aquaman.
You're calling.
Alright, you stab it into the hobgoblin, and she is like pretty much already accepted her fate. She's just whispering prayers to her god now. She's gonna try and
that's what she thinks.
try and take out as many of you guys as she can though.
And then I'll pull out one of the javelins and throw it at her.
Natural 20.
And that's it. Javelin sticks into her and she sort of falls down onto her knee.
That's all I got.
Ender.
Okay, Kai's not gonna attack this turn. Just taking a breather. She's gonna give me help as a bonus action.
Kai's offended.
No, she just wants me to feel good from time to time.
Trying to boost your confidence from
That hits.
terrified.
Alright, you stab her, Ender, and even with Car constricting her, she's still alive. You've just impaled her with a rapier, but she's a fighter. Not quite dead yet.
I swing again.
And that is a miss. She uses the pommel of her greatsword to block your rapier.
And Kat says, "That's what you need me."
Roderick.
Alright. Don't think I can actually get in there. So we'll just walk up to there and do a Sacred Flame.
Okay. She looks up and she thinks Maglubiet has answered her call, so she just embraces the Sacred Flame and then she just starts screaming as it just burns her away dead.
Nice.
And there's still one more fight. Shalfus and the goat. No, I'm joking. The goats are not that aggressive.
To the death.
They're just milling about. Let's take a 10-minute break now, and then when we get back, we'll see where you guys move next. See you guys back soon.
I actually gotta head off, so I won't be back after the break.
Okay. You can just clean up or help some of the town folk.
Yep.
Alright. I'll see you next time.
I'll catch you next week, though.
Okay. how's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Yep, doing good.
Good.
All right. There is still a threat to Goldenfields. Not over yet. All right. While that fighting is happening, we're going to go over to Port Orin. Now, Orin has decided to head back to North Furrow's End. As he's heading that way, there are 4 bugbears that have been skulking around in between the longhouses. Just bugbears. The thing with bugbears is they're tall, they're large, they're like 7 foot tall, but they're very wiry. They're light, and they're as silent as a cat. They are experts at stealthing. That's how they ambush people. And they spot Orin skulking. Orin's like drunk. And they jump out and ambush him as he's heading towards North Furrow's End. So I don't think it's going to end very well for him, unfortunately. Going to roll initiative. And I'm going to determine surprise. Orin is not surprised. As he's running towards North Furrow's End, he just sort of stumbles around and sees some 4 tall figures sort of come out of the shadows, and the bugbears just rush him. One of them swings at Orin. Orin sort of slips and inadvertently misses getting hit, and this bugbear hits Orin for 8 piercing damage. Another one surrounds him, and as he could have easily just like wiped Orin out, but as that bugbear's about to like just wipe Orin out, the bugbear sort of, one of them yells, "Stop! Wait! Don't kill! What? You keep it for stuff. Stuff, yes! Giant like stuff. You know they play the game. Stuff as many halfling in mouth as possible. The most win. Oh yes, giant pay us much for stuff." And so they just knock Orin out and stuff him in a bag and take the halfling for stuff.
Stuff.
And yeah, they actually then a short while later they hear that bell and then they just disappear. So that's what happens to Orin. Alright, we're going to go over to Zi Liang, who will be fighting trying to defend the Abbey while this other fight was going on in the animal pens. And Zi Liang, you've rung the bell, and there's a similar force here. 4 bugbears, 10 goblins, 2 ogres, and a couple of hobgoblins. And as you sort of come down, you're standing in front of the Abbey. There are lots of houses. It's a residential area around the Abbey here. People's homes. And there's like a long sort of, it's almost like a cement, like you could call it like a driveway. It's like a slope that leads down. And then around it are lots of houses, and you're sort of at the bottom of that slope. And just as you're there, confronted with the entire army, you hear the bell ring again. And a lot of the goblins and bugbears and ogres start panicking. And it sows a lot of confusion. And then a hobgoblin just starts yelling out in Goblinoid, "Get left, go get!" And she starts sort of spinning her finger around the captain and commanding the goblins. And Zi Liang, you see a sort of a frightened look appear on the goblinoids' faces, and there's a bit of an orange glow illuminating them. You turn around to look at the source of the glow, and you see Eladrin Darov standing there with a big ball of fire in his hand. His 2 black bears flanking him. and he tosses a big produce flame into the middle of the goblins. Poof, sears a couple of the goblins. By that stage, they've run off to the southeast. Now, Zi Liang, you've noticed that's the direction they came from, and that's the direction they run back. And you feel that there is some sort of breach in the wall. You would not be surprised if they've climbed the wall or even battered it down approximately here.
Okay.
Eladrin looks at you, Zi Liang. My child. We must protect Goldenfields. I know there is nothing I can say that will prevent you from defending Goldenfields with all of your blood and every ounce of strength that you have within your system. But I should warn you, my child, you cannot hope to defend Goldenfields on your own. Do not be ignorant. I fear, though, that Strog Thunderblade has not trained his retinue to deal with another attack. Where are the guards? It has been over 15 minutes.
Useless.
I
Unreliable,
fear for
useless.
Goldenfields, my child. I fear gravely.
As do I.
Alright, and then you guys just sort of have that conversation. Alright, meanwhile, we're gonna go over to Litholis. Alright, Litholis, you've got left behind by everyone. But you do hear the sort of drunken cries of Orin sort of screaming throughout the streets in the distance. And then you see a lot of people coming out of their houses and they start to get panicked. And there are women and children, and there are farmers, part of the militia, that are starting to bear arms. And a lot of them sort of turn to you, Litholis, as you're sort of almost like an elder to them. So what do you do?
I lose attention very quickly, and from the group that I was following, I started calming people down. Well, calm down, children. Don't panic.
All right, Litholis,
everything is under control.
You see the local sort of acolyte, Savembra. You see one of the guard captains, Hantinus. You see old Jimmy. You see Harold, and you see all of your friends and people that you know.
Everything is under control. Don't panic. Just keep calm. And don't mind the giant ogre attack that is happening in town. That they are killing people, but nothing to be concerned with. Don't.
Savembra Tumbleleaf approaches you. She was the one who sells the cornucopias and the seeds in the mill house, the grain house near the front of town. And she sort of comes, Litholis, where can we go for safety? Where is safe?
Oh, hello, Than. How are you doing?
What? No, oh, Savembra. There are frightened children here. Savembra.
Yes, Ren.
That doesn't matter. Where should we go for safety, Litholis?
To the forest, of course. There's always safety in the forest.
You do have a number of treants that sort of protect the forest and the grove. And she starts gathering some people to the grove. And then the townfolk follow her to safety to the grove, where a number of treants move in to protect them. 3 young treants you have. Meanwhile, you hear that bell going off, and you can sort of see some lights starting to sort of glow from the abbey, and you see Eldrin Darov with this massive ball of fire in his hand. As he tosses it, it just lights up the faces of 20 confused looking goblinoids that start retreating back towards the gate. What do you do, Litholis?
The goblins are in the forest?
No, they were near the abbey, sort of over here. They're the ones that just had run from Eladrin and Ziliang. This group here. So they've just started to run off.
I'll try to run after them, I guess, very slowly.
All right, you're gonna chase them down.
Do I have people that can fight with me, or just?
You're actually alone. Well, the young tree ants are protecting the town folk, so you know that, and the children. You know they're going to be safe. There's about a couple of hundred frightened people that have run into the grove. But you do see Ziliang and Eladrin Dorovic, the abbot, up at the abbey, which is like a few hundred feet away from you.
Okay, I'll check on them. I'll go over there.
Okay. Alright, you head over to meet up with them, and alright, we're gonna go over to everyone else here now. So, alright, you guys have just finished that fight. So, what does the party do next? You can hear that bell ringing quite loudly, and some of the fleeing goblinoids have run off in that direction.
I think as the camera cuts back to us, Lily's like got her hands deep in the captain looking for goodies.
You're groping the.
Well, she can't complain at the moment.
Yeah. Doing your Al Franken impression.
I guess Ren's gonna start heading towards the bell.
Yeah. So come.
Alright, you guys are intercepted on the street by an orc. Half orc. It's Strog Thunderblade. Hey, you! You see the half orc. He's wearing half plate, but it's supposed to be full plate. He just hasn't put it all on. And he's sort of like looking like he just woke up, and he sort of, like anyone who's standing near him can just blatantly smell like the strong aroma of alcohol coming off of his breath. Hey! What's going on here? What's that racket? He says.
Ogres and goblinoids.
Huh? Ringing the bell? Why would they be ringing the bell?
Because the town's under attack, you fool.
But that doesn't make sense. Why would the ogres be ringing the bell?
Oh my god.
We do not have time for this fool. Let us keep going.
Hey! I'm the guard captain here. Strog Thunderblade. If a town's under trouble, you gotta tell me.
Well, then you don't follow us then.
Yeah, Rend hasn't stopped at all.
Yeah, just ignore him and keep going.
Alright, you got. Alright, Ren doesn't stop. Ren keeps running, and
yep, he's headed towards the bell.
Alright, Than, you going with Ren?
I am, yes.
Alright. And Miros. What's Miros doing?
Miros is following. He's still pissed.
Okay, I can just imagine Miros is just running, like arms over his head, like.
When he sees the half orc, he just runs up to him, flexes, and roars in his face, and then keeps following the rest of the.
It's like some Halloween shit going on. And Maxine.
Maxine would also. We'll keep going towards the bell as well. Probably on like the other side of the party from Miros, like trying to keep her distance a little bit.
Okay. And Shelvis.
Shelvis thinks that these people are going to keep him alive, so he's herding the goats along with him and trying to shove them after this group.
Alright, you're like leading some goats with you.
Goats being two.
You got two goats, you got like a rope wrapped around their horns, and they're sort of slowing you down a little bit. And you guys don't really stop for Strog. And Strog chases after you guys. And like whoever's at the back of the ranks just sort of sees him running. And he starts tiring. And then he just sort of... He's just so unfit. He like can't keep up with you guys. He's just.
He's like a mall cop.
He just like sits down on a nearby bench to catch his breath. I'll catch up.
You need to get him a Segway.
He
I
wants
was just thinking that.
Tense's floating disc or something. Alright, you guys all rush over, and the town's been under attack for a little over an hour. Still,
Jeez.
there's no guards coming to attention here. A few of the militia have started to come in, but Strog really dropped the ball with organizing some sort of like tactical defense because you just see Goldenfields as vulnerable. As you guys run over, you guys meet up with, you go get to the Abbey. You meet up with Eldrin Daravik, Z Liang, and Lipholis. And you guys are all together here. Shalvis finally comes up with a couple of goats like 5 minutes later. Roderick has stayed just to sort of rally people out of the town.
He's probably huffing and puffing at this point.
Okay. Alright.
He's got a low con.
So, the abbot, he sort of addresses you all. Oh, this is a blessing from Shantea. A blessing that you are here. She has brought you to protect Goldenfields. She is the very lifeblood of Tyrell. And without her blessings, we would be drained of the life-giving fruit and foods that she presents to us. It should be your duties to protect Goldenfields. My daughter, Xi Liang, although she does not admit it, I've raised her myself. Although she does not have faith in my ways, I have always secretly looked out for her. If you are looking for someone who cares about Goldenfields, someone who will lead you in the best possible way to protect the city, then you should look to Xi Liang. There is no one more passionate in the entire city. No one that cares as much for every grain of wheat, every vegetable in the fields. Xi Liang. What should we do?
You honor me with your words. They breached the wall to the southeast. I believe that's where the creatures have come through into the city. Since there's no guards anywhere abouts, I think it's up to us to stop this.
Liferlas starts crying. That speech. I knew Mulan would be the leader one day.
The abbot scratches his head. Now, I must pray. Only prayers can save me now. And you know, Xi Liang, you know, Eldrin to like, he avoids confrontation. And he never keeps any guards in the abbey. But he just seems like committed to just heading inside the abbey and just praying with the other acolytes, which is about 5 other acolytes in there, just a handful. And Xi Liang, you've sort of rallied like quite a large group here to defend Goldenfields, perhaps the only force to defend Goldenfields. And Eldrin just goes back in the abbey.
Everybody. Okay, yeah, I thank everybody for helping, and without you all, I fear that this would have been a complete disaster. If you can please help a little further and help us breach, or help us blockade this breach that has happened.
Sure.
All right, and then
as Miros, as you're standing there as well, like one of these goats starts trying to like chew on your fur.
So you find that kind of soothing.
Okay. Find it soothing. Alright, as you guys all gather here and you sort of head down to like in the residential area, sort of outside the abbey, it looks like the goblinoids have retreated. But you guys then start to feel the ground shudder. At first you think it's like lightning, or there's like loud cracking sounds. And then you see there are two hill giants running straight towards the abbey, just smashing through houses. They've just come out of the wheat fields, running at you guys.
A what?
Two hill giants. Their footsteps are shuddering the ground. Each step as they crash through wagons sounds like a jolt of lightning. And
I charge them.
you guys charge
picked
them.
the wrong day.
There appears to be one female hill giant and one male hill giant. And they're unarmed, but they're running in with just balled fists.
What happened to their arms?
That will be soon. Well, that'll be their legs. They'll be unlegged soon. And all right, you guys you meet them as you rush them. You sort of see them, their vague sort of silhouettes through the darkness, and you guys meet them in sort of all of these little houses that are near the abbey. You're about 100 feet away, just as they get beyond the wheat fields. And no houses have actually been destroyed yet, but they're like, well, they knock over a shed or two. And here you guys all are. When you guys sort of get down to like here, obviously it's dark, so you sort of lose them, but you can just hear their crashing footsteps there. Got to be about 50 feet away from you, within that range, sort of to the southeast. So
I lose my torch.
Did the torch go away? Nope, we still got it.
No, I was scrolled over too far to the right.
Okay. All right. You guys know how this goes. Just two hill giants this time. A male and a female. But that's not all. The three goblins that escaped, they're lurking somewhere in the area. You can hear them chuckling. They waited for the giants and they have hid. I'm going to make them stealth checks. I don't think you guys can actually see them anyway, because they're hiding behind buildings and stuff. But if you do sort of detect them, then you'll be able to either attack them or at disadvantage if you don't have high enough passive perception. So 15, 20, and 19. I'll keep a track and let you guys know what you see. Okay, Rend, you're up first.
So they're, I don't even know where they're at.
Southeast, yeah. As you've like got down a bit closer, like, because it's a bit of a sort of a steep elevation up to the abbey, and so you've sort of lost exact sight of them amongst all the houses and whatnot here, but you know they're close. You can just hear their thundering footsteps like over in this direction.
Alright, then let's see. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oops. And then guess I'll go ahead and go into a rage. Boy, that's my third one for the day. Got one more after this. And that's, yeah, just that's it.
Di Liang.
She will. So the sound is coming from down southeast area.
That's where you can hear just like you can feel the vibrations in the ground shuddering. You can hear the heavy footsteps.
Okay. She's going to I guess head as far as she can down towards that. See if she can get a look or a better vantage point to go up there.
All right. She sort of looks into the darkness, and then just the shuddering becomes more intense, and then a massive silhouette, about 14 foot tall. A big fat hill giant comes running around the corner, and he's got this large, it looks like a massive water tower barrel sort of strapped around his back like armor, and he has other kegs in his hands. Liang looks up, and she's probably never faced a hill giant before, and it's quite intimidating because it is massive, and it is going to grab the roof of this building and just rip a big chunk of it off and just throw it at Liang, which is effectively a rock attack. Oops, I had it on whisper. 16 on the attack.
That's a hit.
And it hits her for 20 bludgeoning damage. A massive rock just slams onto the ground and just like bowls her over, almost killing her. She's still alive, and like, oh, big chunk of roof tiles. That's just a single attack for Lob, and he ends his turn there. Ander.
Okay. If I can get there. Oh, wow. Oh, but I want to do something else. As a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Healing Baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna place it over here. Over here.
Okay.
Then, together with Ka, I'm gonna get over here, going through the healing spirit, and we both heal. So, first one's for me. Second one is for Ka.
Hill Baby spews rainbow magic onto you. Heals you.
And I'm gonna dodge, same as Ka.
Okay. Can Ka dodge?
Yeah. In fact, if I don't command her to do anything,
she auto dodges, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And end of turn.
Oh yeah.
Alright, the goat is like tethered to Shalvis. Actually, I imagine the goat's sort of up here, and it just and it tries to break free of this wolf in sheep's clothing. Shalvis, make an athletics check versus the goat. You already lost the other one. Shalvis?
Jarvis, I don't see him on the map.
Don't you? Oh, did I not do the side again? Oh no, he has the
there
side.
he is. I think he was he under someone or? Okay, I see.
Probably just not scrolled over onto the map.
He He just wants to protect his goats.
He needs to make an athletics check. Goat's trying to break free.
Oh, gotcha. I will do it. Athletics is not a skill of his, so is that just like a straight
strength?
It's a strong, independent goat that don't need no man.
Alright, if you don't let go of the goat's gonna drag you. What do you do?
Which direction is it dragging him?
It's gonna drag you away.
Back to the goat pen.
He's holding the goat.
The goat starts dragging Shalva's back. Okay. Where's Roderick? Roderick! No, Roderick's not there. Lily.
Okay, Lily's going to start by blade singing. And then she will cast a mirror image.
I forgot to roll these goblins in as well. I'm gonna make them go on initiative count 15, I guess. Alright, mirror image goes up. And there are 4 lilies there now.
Yep, I think I'm going to be good.
Alright, there are a few goblins skulking around here. The 3 that got away from the animal pens have been hiding in the darkness, and one of them, which is very well hidden, peers around the corner. It's going to shoot Zi Liang at advantage.
Shit.
But the arrow misses.
Ooh.
And the goblin is now revealed. Quickly hides around the corner of the building. Another one comes around here. And what's your passive, Lily? You don't see him. He is around the corner. Oh, it's 17?
No, I said 13. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. And he sort of swims in one of... It's like hiding in like the water trough. It's like a pig trough. And he takes a shot at you, Lily. Roll a d20 for your mirror image. He has advantage. Alright, he shoots you.
Is it good or bad?
That's bad. He misses you anyway, though. And then you see him, and he quickly hides... Tries to hide back into the pig trough. There's bubbles coming up from the pig trough. Another goblin sneaks around the corner, and Rend. He attacks you from this direction, and he has advantage. He's hidden. And the arrow hits you for 1 damage. I don't even know if you noticed that, but you do notice the goblin. And he panics. We thought we'd kill you! Thought he'd kill you, but no. Didn't work that way. Next scene.
Next scene is going to she doesn't think this giant can speak common, probably. So we'll throw another 2nd level magic missile. All of the missiles being at the giant.
Okay. Alright, they slam into him. And they just start knocking him back. Beating him around a little bit.
And she's going to kind of run over here behind this building. She knows her strengths and weaknesses.
Thomas.
Oh, hey, that's me. I'm gonna shoot a little lightning ball at the giant there.
It's weird that they're called a giant. You wouldn't call someone a little.
Well, I mean, you could. They'd just be very offended, probably.
Alright, that easily hits him. And it strikes him, and I think you need to roll on the wild magic surge, Thomas.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It sort of knocks him back a little bit, but he just sort of shakes his head. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't notice anything, no, Thomas.
It's actually not
Actually, you
bad.
notice everything.
Current
Actually, I'm not sure what you
situation.
notice.
Ooh, I notice a healing baby over here. And I pointed out to Miros. I said, go over there.
Let it vomit on you.
I almost like to imagine you were trying to actually shoot the healing baby and missed and hit the giant.
Shalvis, the goat's like overpowering you. You've pretty much like sort of got each other grappled, but you can move because there's like 15 feet of rope in between you and the goat.
Alright, I'm gonna try dragging the goat.
You'll be at
Up to
half
her next.
movement speed.
Yeah. In the direction this way. Like, oops. Let's see. There, that was 3 squares.
You got one more.
That's his entire turn. He's just trying to drag the goat out of the way behind this.
Is he going to take an action?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That was his action. I guess he'll fire. This is the only guy he can see, I think. So he'll fire a crossbow.
All right, you launch a crossbow bolt, even at disadvantage. Wait, can you even reach that far? He's just in range. All right, you hit the giant, and a tiny little bolt sticks into him. Norin.
Alright, let's run to here, going through heal baby. Better than nothing.
You should tell Z Lang about the baby.
Let's see, how far am I from the giant? Oh, he is just in range for javelins. How about that? So our first javelin.
That is definitely a hit. And that sticks straight into him. Oh! And he just sort of grabs it, and it's like almost the size of a needle in comparison to this big flabby giant. And he just uses his thumb and forefinger to like take it out and throw it on the ground.
Alright, and we'll try to do that again.
And another direct hit. Even with his barrel armor, it still pierces through a gap in the wood and sticks into him. Oh! And his voice sort of booms out loud enough to sort of shake and shudder some of these windows that are near you guys.
Alright, and that will be my turn.
Miros.
I mean, this guy's on death's door, right?
Not anymore.
He runs at Hill Baby. Trying to like probably bear hug it or something.
Tries to bear hug the heal baby.
Holy Lag City, Batman. Fix this up point later. I'm almost completely. Let's try. Hold up my club to take a swing and realize he's too far away and pull up the crossbow.
It's a miss.
Range tug.
Dan.
Alright, Then is going to run up, go through the heal baby, and Toll the Dead, I think. Yeah, Toll the Dead on the giant. There we go.
Lob makes a wisdom save and fails, and he sort of grabs his head and starts crying. Very, very mug. And he's yelling out pretty much bad, and he's calling for his mate.
All right,
Down here
and
somewhere.
I thought he was calling for his mom, but hopefully it's not the same person.
Could be. Hill giants.
They're weird, man.
I'll probably bring out a spiritual weapon if I can. Yep, I can. Yep. I cast spiritual weapon on the giant.
Okay.
What does your weapon look like again?
It's a dove.
It is a derelict dove. A bung-eyed dove this time.
That's a swing and a miss, and then I'll end my turn. Oops.
Alright, Og comes running, and you see like a small silo, and Og moves through it, and it's like does not slow her movement. It just she moves through it, and it just crumbles down, and she just keeps running, and just breaks through the side of this house like nothing, and just smashes through a brick wall. And she has in her hand the biggest pumpkin you've ever seen. She picks it up over her head, and she tries to throw it down on Miros.
You can't hit a 10. Maybe you can.
And it just splatters down on Miros and knocks him prone and restrains him. So he's got a big pumpkin sort of splattered over him. And he's also knocked out. Okay.
That's exactly what he had, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wait, what is this? There's a pumpkin there now. Ta-da. And as she's running, she's just rips off a big chunk of the house, which includes part of the hearth. And she's going to throw that at Rend, which acts as a rock. And a massive chunk of hearth smashes over you, Rend, but you just sort of stand there. Literally a stone hearth just breaks over you and you take 6 points of damage. And actually a hunk of meat like falls at your feet as well, which is kind of convenient. You also notice Og wears some sort of like leathery hide armor, and Lob has this like large sort of barrel, like a water vein barrel, like strapped to his back for armor. Lipholis. Lipholis?
Oh, that's me. I forgot.
Good role playing. You're forgetting your own name. That's what Lipholis does.
Yes. So Lipholis is going to move over here. Ooh, what is this little creature? Hello. And then he tries to grab it and goes through his branches, and he remembers that he's fighting giants, so he's gonna dash forward.
He sort of moves on these large roots that just sort of roll him along the ground.
And as he stands over here, he becomes like the tree. Like he takes the position of a tree.
He's like completely blended in. When he's not moving, he just closes his eyes and he looks like that tree. He's hidden. Alright, Rend.
Alright, so it's straight down for this guy. And attack the dude. Reckless attack.
Okay. That is a hit. Alright, you hit, you get the extra damage because there's a giant. and you hack into his like Achilles heel, and it just sort of severs a tendon, and he sort of falls to the ground and starts sort of crying a little bit.
All right. Second attack.
And that hits. And you hit him again, and he's like, you just hit him in the side, and he just starts crying. Oh, no more! Me give up! He says in broken common.
And all right, that's it.
And Lob actually surrenders. Zi Liang, fearless leader.
She is going to wow, okay. She'll sling, I guess. The giant here.
Alright. This is some David and Goliath shit. Except doesn't really do a whole lot, just sort of bounces off her head. She just looks so pissed off.
Her big leadership arsenal, that's what she's got. So she's going to backtrack a little bit and get a little love from that baby. And then probably end her turn over there.
Alright, Lob stays prone and he just sort of crawls up into a ball and he starts crying. And he just basically like dodges there, curled up, surrendering, crying, and he's all huddled up into a massive 12-foot tall ball with his butt sticking out. But as he doesn't mean to do this on purpose, but he accidentally makes an attack because he's sort of a little bit frightened.
What the
fuck? And he creates a 20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on himself. And it's actually pretty big. Actually, it's supposed to be a 20-foot cube, not 20-foot sphere. 20-foot cube is what I intended it to be. And it sort of goes over you, Ren. And the area is heavily obscured, so you're effectively blinded. And
cool shit.
You start your turn and you have to make a con save against poison. If you fail, you spend your action retching and reeling.
Jeez.
A moderate wind of at least 10 miles an hour will disperse it.
Someone had Mexican food.
Sorry! He didn't mean to do that. And
Alright, I'm gonna move the heal baby over here as a bonus action. And this is 15 over here, 20, 25, 30. And can I attack with Ka from here? Is this building still in place?
no, she's pretty much smashed down the wall and she's huge, so easy target.
Right. So I'll heal first. The first one's for me. The second one is for Ka. Oh shit. And I'm going to attack. Ka is gonna attack first.
She hits and bites Og. Og quite tough, a lot tougher than Lob, and she takes a bit of damage, resisting the poison. She's still barely injured.
And I swing with the rapier.
And that actually misses her. It sort of sticks into her hide.
Okay. Turn.
Alright, the goat's gonna try and just pull away Shalvis. Make an athletics check to resist. Alright, it just pulls you in the opposite direction and drags you 15 feet over here. Ends its turn. Do you rest with the goat? Lily.
And here I will. Yeah, let's pull out the blade. And I'm gonna stab this little goblin.
That is a hit. And you just see some bubbles in the pig trough. You stab into it, and then the pig trough water just turns red. Little goblin floats to the surface.
Oh man. Okay, so then let's see if I have enough movement here. That would end me in the cloud.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
Breathe really hard.
Heavily obscure. That should tell you everything.
Hey, this goblin here looks like he might be in the shadows.
He probably will be. I'll double check. No, he is. Actually, Ren's area is heavily obscured, but that doesn't block light, so. Yeah, he's in the torchlight. He's within 20 feet of Ren, so that's where you're getting the light from.
In that case, I'll aim at the boot. I'm just gonna throw the.
That is a miss.
And that'll end.
Alright, the goblins turns, and one of them is going to run around the corner, and as a bonus action, he's going to attempt to hide. And he peers back out to take a shot at you, Lily, and you clearly see him there. And oh, he's supposed to roll a d20. I forgot. He destroys one of your mirror images instead. You see him there, and he hides back around the corner. This goblin's going to do the same thing. He's going to hide behind a building, and he's going to peer out with his ranged attack. No one's going to see this, and he's going to fire at Thomas with advantage. And out of nowhere, Thomas, an arrow hits you from the northeast. 6 piercing damage. You look over, and you see a little goblin just skulk back behind a small building.
I might have to shield that.
Want to shield it?
Yeah.
Alright, roll on the wild magic surge table. Real slick. Alright, when you do your shield, a big blob of oil squirts out of the area. Is it a 10-foot cube?
I believe so.
Somebody else had Mexican food.
Yeah.
Alright, it just goes there.
10 foot square.
Okay, goes there. Comes out of the shield.
Don't worry, little.
I think he has to make the save on it though, because it's when the grease appears.
Is it? Okay. Make a saving throw,
Sorry.
Thomas. It's a dex.
Sorry.
Is it Dex?
Let's see. Dex saving throw or fall prone. Against yourself.
That's funny. Alright. You just start slipping around a little bit. You're okay.
Walking, wave my hands around, trying to catch my balance.
There's a big hemispherical sort of shield covered with grease just dripping down. Like a little windshield. Alright, Maxine.
Alright, she's gonna pop around. And yeah, she's just a magic missile machine. Pop another second level magic missile, this time at the Lady Hill Giant.
Alright, they all slam into her. She sort of just holds her arms up and bats them away, mildly annoyed.
Okay. Back behind the building.
It does sort of bruise her arm quite a bit, though. Thomas.
All right. Just gonna shoot a ray of frost at her.
That hits her. and it just starts to freeze her up, so her movement speed is reduced by 10 feet. She's still just all these attacks you're lobbing at her, they're just sort of mild annoyances.
Alright, I'm gonna step out of the grease. Do I need to save on that?
Only if you end or move in.
Return it.
End or move in. Talvis. That's you, Lily.
Sorry, I keep forgetting what the guy's name is. He's not even going to take a shot. He's just going to try to drag this goat back. He will herd this goat.
Alright. You can just drag the goat with half movement speed. Norin.
Alright, quick question. So is Miros actually like pinned by a giant pumpkin, or is that...
he's covered with a heap of heavy bits of pumpkin and sort of stuck into the ground.
Okay. So that's gonna try to move him into the...
You can like use your action to try and free him. An athletics check, DC 13.
Yeah, he's still down though. I have in my inventory, I have 1 regular potion of healing, and I will use my action to feed that to Miros.
Okay.
So he can make a check.
Miros wakes up, like, so stuck underneath a giant broken pumpkin.
D4 plus 4? Is that the regular?
2d4 plus 4.
2D, yeah, 2d4. Yeah, 2d4. That's not a bad one.
Oh, thank you.
Miros, that was like a prize pumpkin of yours that you like take to the show where you pumpkin festival that was due next month.
And I'm going to move to here.
Did you move through the hill, baby?
Oh yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have moved to the hill, baby. I'll roll a d6. That's good. And I'll get up in her face, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to hidden step.
Okay.
And go invisible. I'll go ahead and pull my trident out too.
But do you actually take a step?
Like as I step towards her, I go invisible.
I can't tell. It was hidden.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
And Miros, you wake up covered in your own prize pumpkin. How does that make you feel? Ah! As you roar, you get like bits of like raw pumpkin in your mouth and seeds. Your beard is like dyed orange.
Do I need to make some kind of check?
Yeah, it's an action and an athletics check to get out, or acrobatics, your choice.
Tin them orange.
Alright, he just throws the bits of pumpkin off of himself. No longer restrained.
With a giant roar. Surprise. Use half my movement to stand up. 5. 15. And I just roar at her.
Sasquatch. Sasquatch. Man.
He's gonna move through the heal baby, and nice. That's pretty good.
Your baby gives you some mild love.
The spiritual weapon is gonna attack the giant on the ground.
Okay, he is surrendering.
Okay. The giant standing. She's gonna get it in the face. Spiritual weapon.
That's a hit.
All right, and then.
Alright, slams into her. Still, she's not like getting too bothered for this barrage of attacks yet.
Okay, and then I am going to. I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna command her to grovel.
Hey. In what language?
In common.
She does not understand what you say, and the spell fails. But you do not consume a spell slot, just your action.
Okay, and that's the end of my turn.
She roars, and she just sort of kicks Lob. Rah, you mother! You hear her just saying, "You're useless," to Lob in Giant, and then she's going to just jump and land here. Provoking from Rend. Actually, Rend, you can't see, so an opportunity attacker, unfortunately. Alright, she tries to squash where you were, Norin, at disadvantage. Comes down.
Who is she hitting?
Norin.
She's trying to get me.
Butt first. And 18 just misses.
Ooh, almost queefed.
And she just lands prone on the ground there. And then she sort of stands up. And you guys are like directly underneath her loincloth.
Oh.
Lifilus.
Liflet opens his eyes.
I can only imagine.
He moves over here.
Try
It's like,
not to.
Hello, little creature. I just saw your friend a few minutes ago. How are you doing? And then he sees the giant on the ground there. It's like, and he just casually swings a branch at her head. It's a pacifist.
That actually misses.
He swings again.
And another miss. He like goes to swing, realizes a couple of birds have perched on his branches, so he waits for them to leave, and by that time he's like turns over.
Damn. I guess he is a pacifist.
We're gonna wrap it up here for tonight. But at the start,
don't make me hang out under here for a week.
At the start of this round,
man.
there is a little bit more trouble. 4 bugbears carrying a suspiciously small sack come running in from the north, behind Shalvis and Naxine, and they're carrying an unconscious Orin with them.
Why are they taking
Only half a problem.
Or stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
So they Hill Giant stuff as many gnomes or halflings into their mouth as possible, like Chubby Bunny with halflings. The more you can stuff in your mouth at one time, the winner is the one who can stuff the most in their mouth. Alrighty, guys.
Night.
Thank you
Good
very
night.
much. Have a good night, good weekend.
Bye.
See you next week. Take care.
See you next week.